Whether you're in town for the game, a concert at the Amp, business travel, or just a weekend away, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious, clean room ready for you. Reserve your stay at the Inn at the Mill, 479-443-1800, or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Is it March Madness or Mermaid Madness? Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and Fort Smith are giving away a 4-person plug-and-play spa valued at over $6,500, complete with waterfall, lighting, and built-in ice bucket. Stop by Burton Pools and Spas and guess how many mermaids are in the hot tub. The closest guess wins. Or go to hitthatline.com/Mermaid Madness and see the photo and enter your guess. Winner will be announced on April 4th. It's Mermaid Madness. Win a new spa from Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and Fort Smith. Your source for backyard fun. ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our temperature's not quite as cool. We'll manage the mid-50s. An increase in the cloud cover tonight. Few showers possible. An overnight low in the upper 30s. Showers especially early on Tuesday, especially across the north. That's where we see the most widespread rain. Our high in the low 50s north, upper 50s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Metters Lumber True Value, with locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville. There's always a Metters Lumber near you.
944. Here we go. From the Bushlight Studios, this is ESPN 95.3.
Well, this town is a pigskin paradise.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Put in a lot of work. It's crazy. Oh, no, it's crazy. I feel good. I'm glad we came out with the win.
What makes you tear up? What are you thinking about?
Just put in the work. This team is struggling. We figured it out, and I'm glad we did at the right time, and hopefully we continue to do it.
You earned it. You enjoy every second of this, young man.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
40-year-old adolescents, felons, power drinkers, and trustees of modern chemistry.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Were you going to have a party here tonight, son? I don't know what that was all about.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
That seducer and spoiler must be stopped. He's extremely dangerous.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
The Kansas Jayhawks were 47-0 all-time in the NCAA tournament when leading by 8 or more points at halftime until they met the Arkansas Razorbacks on Saturday night. What a game, what a win, what a performance from Devonte Davis, who you heard in the postgame with Allie LaForce, and the emotions that he felt, not just during the course of the game, but this season. I know a lot of Arkansas fans, it really tugged at your heartstrings when you heard Devo talking about this season, that win after the game. We've got plenty to discuss here on a Hot Take Monday. Calls and texts are welcome, as they were on Hog Reaction, 877-377-6963. You think Hot Take Monday? You think Wheels RV? Hey, listen, our friends at Wheels RV, Chris, Lee J, that whole team, they will help you explore the natural state the right way. You can get a brand new RV. They also have pre-owns as well. These are brands you know and trust. Grand Design, Forest River, Heartland, Keystone, Alliance. It doesn't matter. Best brands, best prices. Go buy them, see them at Wheels RV. Plus, they have that mobile service shuttle to help keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west off I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV. We've already got a call this morning at 6:02, and again, those are welcome all the morning, all 3 hours. We have a lot to discuss here with Chuck Barrett, who's coming up at 6:30. Tommy's in Cozumel this week, Cozumel, however you say it. He's on vacation with his kids. You don't get many spring breaks with your kiddos, so he's off doing that. And again, he'll hopefully have a good time this week, and I'm excited to have a good time this morning as I did in Des Moines, Iowa. Let's go right to the phone lines. Again, this is a Hot Take Reaction Monday. That's where Ryan Hot Springs is patiently waiting on the phones. Ryan, you were on the Morning Rush. What's up, man?
Hey, man, I said this on Twitter, and I gave you, man, you called it last week. I got to give you credit on that, first and foremost. Second and foremost, to be honest with you, there for a little bit, I figured this team was going to wilt. I'm proud they didn't. And I figured they'd fight back, but I was just afraid Kansas would be too much for them. But I'm so dead gum proud of this team. I got to say this too. I don't think you get much more Arkansas than Devo Davis. I mean, just his play is Arkansas. You need to look at, a player over our history in recent memory. I mean, you don't get much more Arkansas than Devo Davis. The way he just didn't stop. So that's my thoughts. Let's have a good week. Let's go beat UConn and go Hogs.
It's going to be a tough game Thursday against UConn. I haven't gotten on. I need to check and see if that game time's been announced. I don't know if it was announced late last night. Christian, has it been announced yet?
6:15, I believe.
Okay. Is that Central Time or is it Vegas? I want to make sure I'm saying that right. Oh, it is the second game. Okay. So Vegas, I guess that would be 4:15. So if you're planning on making the trip out to Las Vegas, it'll be 4:15 Vegas time and 6:15 here Central Time on CBS. We'll talk more about that this week. Thank you. I had not checked that this morning. That was one of the few things I had not looked at or found yet. But, yeah, good news. Again, it's going to be tough. Huskies are really, really good. They smashed Bama earlier this year. This is a quality basketball team. Dan Hurley, Eric Musselman, going to be a lot of animation on that sidelines, and Arkansas better come ready to play as they get against the Kansas Jayhawks. Now, you mentioned Devonte Davis, and we will touch on him time and time again throughout the morning. I was going back and just thinking about the fact that at one point in time, Devo had committed to Oklahoma State. On December 2nd, 2018, his original commitment was to the Cowboys. Now, he decommitted once Eric Musselman got hired in 2000, I guess that would have been 19, and he decommitted and ended up committing with Arkansas and ultimately signing with the Razorbacks. But how different would this era under Eric Musselman look without Devonte Davis? Muss is now 8-2 in the NCAA tournament. Devo has been a part of every single one of those wins. And now 7 of 10 NCAA tournament games, he has scored double figures. March Devo. I know sometimes you see Arkansas social media accounts that make jokes that they don't necessarily hold any weight, hold any water. This one does. Devo's magnificent. He's marvelous. He is spectacular in the month of March. And once again, in the performance, he had 21 points in the second half, was really efficient shooting the basketball and didn't have as much of an impact, at least offensively, in the first half. But defensively and offensively, he had an impact throughout the game, hit some clutch shots. I hate that he fouled out at the tail end because I would have loved for him to be on the court. But he gave every single bit. He exerted everything he had on the court on Saturday, Christian, in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah, when the lights got bright, Devo stepped up, and, he hasn't really been the guy, and I felt like on Saturday he said, I'm going to take over this game because, other than Ricky Council, nobody really was doing that. Anthony Black, he contributed to the game in a lot of ways. He just didn't put up the normal points total that you see. Nick Smith didn't have his normal game. So Devo Davis, he just said, I'm going to go find a shot. And they were falling. I mean, he was getting to the rim, making very difficult shots. And then, he got fouled out late in that game. You thought that might be an issue, but Ricky Council said, all right, now it's my turn. And, man, it was just a team effort, I feel like, all the way around.
Yeah, Ricky Council, once Devonte Davis fouled out, really took over at points during the game. It goes 10 for 11 from the free throw line. The only miss, Jordan Walsh was able to tip it back to him, and he attacked the rim right at Jalen Wilson. Ricky Council, for as poor as he played during the SEC tournament, his last two performances, which we know this tournament matters more than what occurred at Nashville. I'm so happy for that kid who at points this season has been down. You can tell it's been an emotional roller coaster, not just for him, but the rest of the basketball team. So for Ricky, who you saw as happy as and excited he was after the game, you saw it on several cameras jumping up and down. It wasn't just him, it was the entire team. That was really, really cool. We're going to see a lot of Arkansas fans that make their way to Vegas. We're going to be leaving on Wednesday. I'm flying out of Tulsa. Going to get there probably about 1:30-ish to Vegas on Wednesday. I've got a flight booked for Sunday back, not doing it for Friday. We'll have to see if I have to get on standby or something. But I think a lot of people anticipate Arkansas making it to the Elite Eight. Again, a really tough matchup ahead against the UConn Huskies. But based on the way they pulled it out against the Kansas Jayhawks, special moment. I got a little worried.
Yeah.
So first half, Arkansas's down by 8. They should have called that foul. I don't know what Joe Lindsey was looking at the tail end of the first half. Ricky Council, I watched the replay. I watched it live on courtside. I also watched the still pictures, which I know Tommy says can't ever look at stills and say that. I mean, he got raked across the arm. No call. You're heading in a half down 8. And I was like, I'm not watching this from behind Chuck and Z anymore. So I went up and watched the rest of the game with my buddies. Luckily, I could go nuts. Can't really do that in the media section, media row. And watching Arkansas fans celebrate that win was a special, special moment that I'll remember for quite some time. Tell you what else is special. What we got going on right now with Burton Pools and Spas. Mermaid Madness. They are giving away an Enamor Premier Hot Tub package starting at over $6,000 for free. All you got to do is stop by the location in Springdale or Fort Smith, see how many mermaid things you think are in the hot tub, and if you guess it right, you get the hot tub package for free. Again, it's a 4-person plug-and-play hot tub, adjustable waterfall, exterior and interior lights. I mean, this is the whole 9 yards when you think of hot tubs. Again, you can check out either location in Springdale and Fort Smith or go to hitthatline.com/mermaidmadness. There's also a $500 coupon on the entry form that you can use for a new hot tub or above ground pool. The winner will be announced April the 4th. So go sign up if you haven't already. Again, Mermaid Madness from Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, your source for backyard fun. More calls and texts coming up here on a Hot Take Monday of the Morning Rush.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guts.
Hey, stop in and see us at Randall Ford at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith if you're in the market for a new F-150. Hey, you looking for that F-250? We have them in stock. If you're looking for, maybe a new Mach 1. If you are looking for a new GT Premium Mustang, we also have those in stock. Hey, if you're in the market and you're looking for a new Explorer, we have those in stock as well. Hey, if you're in the market and you're looking for a Bronco Sport, brand new, yeah, we have those. Pre-owned, we have those as well too. So come by and see us. We're at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. It is a huge month going on because Truck Month has been extended one final month. So come in through close of business, the final day of the month, and we will fix you up, get you some major savings in a brand new F-150. We do this every day, folks. Let us save you some money today at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Don't forget, you can always shop us online at randallford.com.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
People come and people go. Simple facts of running a business. But when the folks that have keys go, it creates a new issue of protecting your property. Instead of having the expense of changing locks, consider using access control so you only have to terminate a card. Guardtronic, the River Valley's leader in security, can install an access control system that allows you to know who and what time someone comes into your business. And with only a few clicks on a keyboard, that access is denied instantly. Contact Guardtronic at 800-542-7866 or connect through guardtronic.com. License E050.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work. Real work. Working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Have a loan with a variable to balloon rate? That might be a problem if it's due to reprice soon. Let Farm Credit fix your problem with a long-term fixed interest rate loan. Farm Credit's terms are the longest in the ag industry, ensuring you'll have peace of mind for years to come. At Farm Credit, you have nothing to lose. When rates begin to drop, you can easily readjust your rate again with no refinancing application, no new appraisals, no new title work. We make it simple. Find a Farm Credit office near you at myaglender.com. Equal housing lender.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Springtime is finally here, and Road Chevrolet in Van Buren has the savings you need. Enjoy a 6-quart full synthetic oil change for $59.95 with a tire rotation at no additional charge. And save money by getting a 4-wheel alignment for only $79.95. To save even more, if you've never met our service manager, Ronald Peters, come and shake his hand and save $20 off any other service. It's as easy as a handshake. Road Chevrolet Van Buren and Rhodes Tire Center. Prices you'll love, people you can trust.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Trying to talk to the morning rush, much more important than my real job.
Council, right side, guarded by Adams, going to pull up, right elbow, jumper, in and out, no good. Johnson with a rebound, up and in. Kamani with a follow, Hawks by 2, 50 seconds to go.
Do you enjoy watching Arkansas press conferences? Find all of them on our YouTube channel. You can hear from Sam Pittman, Eric Musselman, Dave Van Horn, and Razorback players. Just search Hit That Line and click subscribe.
Devonte Davis is going to get plenty of love from myself, Chuck, Christian, and everyone else this morning. But how about Kamani Johnson? 10 rebounds, 6 offensive boards for the young man that was so pivotal in the win. The biggest play of his career right there, that tip-in where he got it off a Ricky Council pull-up jumper miss and then put Arkansas up by 2. Again, plenty of this us. Arkansas wins by 1 against the Kansas Jayhawks. Your thoughts, your takes at 877-377-6963 here in a Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV. We're brought to you also by Farm Credit. Maybe you have a loan with a variable or balloon interest rate, and you're worried about your costs rising. I know interest rates rising. It's a big deal right now, and that's a problem. Well, listen to this. Farm Credit can fix that. They're talking and will help you get a long-term fixed rate and lock it in for the life of your loan. Now, these offer peace of mind in changing economic times. And again, it depends on what interest rates you're looking at, but a lot of them are rising. Lock in a interest rate that works for you at Farm Credit. They're offering the longest terms in the ag industry right now. Talk to Farm Credit today. Find an office near you at myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal housing lender. Text in from Quinton Clarksville. He wants to hear Eddie from Clarksville, his fellow Clarksvillian, who you'll hear for another one coming up in just a bit. He wants to hear that Ric Flair woo that Eddie loves to chime in occasionally from time to time this morning. If I had to guess, Eddie was on the post-game show. Eddie will probably call in at some point this morning based on Arkansas's, again, upset of the number 1 seed, the Kansas Jayhawks. Only happened 4 times in NCAA history where a team for back-to-back seasons has beaten a 1 seed in their region. Arkansas did it against Gonzaga last year, and they did it against Kansas on Saturday. So really special. JT in Laurel, Mississippi. Not a lot to say this morning other than he's just proud of this team and Devonte Davis really flipping the switch. Yeah, Devo again. First half, I know that defense doesn't necessarily have the same limelight as a good offensive game, but Devo, 4 points in the first half, 21. He poured in 21 points in the second half. Christian, at one point, he scored 10 straight.
Yeah, and, I keep thinking about his post game. I mean, you could tell how much it meant to him, man. He knew this could potentially have been his last game as well. So he knew I have to go off, and we needed every single point from Devo, and he really shined bright in the moment. And just to think what we've all been through as fans this year through the season, all the ups and downs. Can you imagine the players how they felt being able to get a win over a 1 seed again for the second straight year and just start to have success at the right time? Do we care what happened in the regular season now? since we're going on this run now. So you got a tough UConn squad obviously coming up. You got to take it game by game, but man, it sure feels good right now.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we've talked about heading into the Kansas game, that it could almost relinquish or unblemish or everything that you think went wrong with the regular season. And Christian just kind of alluded to it there. While we think of this team as life or death, and a lot of you experience it as a player coach would based on the amount of energy you exert during the course of a game, there's no one in that locker room that was happy with how this season really started and ended, but not necessarily started, but in the middle and in the end per se, in accordance to the regular season. But what they were able to do, come together. Again, Kansas at one point was up 12 or 13 in the second half, and Arkansas somehow, some way just kept battling back. Anthony Black guarded Grady Dick for a good portion of that second half, and he was not able to go off like he has at several points this season. Arkansas contained Jalen Wilson to a certain extent. I want to say Jordan held him to 6 points in the second half. That is the Big 12 Player of the Year, y'all. That's one of the best players in all of college basketball. And you really, again, he scored, I think, 20 in that game, but for the most part, you limited his production to what he's been necessarily gone off at points this season. Kirk and Marshall texted him. He says, from now on, we should learn to Devonte Davis as refer to Devonte Davis as Razorback legend Devonte Davis. Here's the thing about Devo, and I mentioned it last segment. 8 wins in the NCAA tournament as a Razorback. Arkansas has only gone back-to-back-to-back Sweet 16s one time in the history of their program, from 93 to 96 under Nolan Richardson. One time, y'all. That is it. Now, that team, as we know, went to the national championship at 1 in 94, went back and almost beat UCLA in 95, and then had the Sweet 16s connected with both of those. So that is, again, a era that will be very difficult to beat without getting/winning the national championship. But Arkansas right now is in a very, very selective, very, very exclusive category, not just with the history of their program, but really in college basketball overall, Christian.
Yeah, and I want to go back to what you said earlier about, Kansas was in, there was a couple points in the game where it felt like Kansas was in control of it, but for the most part, Arkansas felt like they could compete with them, but it did feel like it was starting to get away at certain points, and then Arkansas just went on those little runs that you need to have in order to claw back into the game. And there's a reason why Eric Musselman's 8-2 in March Madness as the head coach of the Razorbacks.
Yeah, he just makes adjustments, and they did in the second half after a poor first half offensively. Didn't play horrible defense in that first half, and I know that's not exactly his defensive standards, but we have to, again, account for the fact that Kansas has so many weapons, so many veterans on that squad, and you contained them, you limited them, you frustrated them. I saw the frustration on all those guys during the course of the game. I know you kind of got a break with DeJuan Harris having that messed up ankle. He wasn't the same player in the second half. I know that people are already asking about Nick Smith. Chaz in Fayetteville texted that in, and just some questions around that. Here's my take on that situation. So Nick doesn't have another good offensive performance, unfortunately, but he came in at the tail end of the game, played good defense on DeJuan Harris. If you watch on the sidelines in the second half, he's not pouting, he's not grouching, he's celebrating when his teammates have success. And then people are like, well, he deleted his social media. I just don't think he wants that distraction. I don't think he wants people blowing up his DMs and saying, well, you didn't, for a second consecutive game, show up. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. That's my take. Now, I don't know what's actually happening behind closed doors. That's just my opinion on the matter.
Yeah, good for him for doing that. I mean, you don't want any type of distractions this late in the year, especially, and for the people that are directly messaging him about his performance, come on now. I mean, he knows he didn't play well. That's just going to motivate him to even play well even better next game, I think.
You guys beat Kansas. Arkansas beat the Jayhawks without one of their better players really doing anything offensively in Nick Smith. The same with Illinois. What happens if he starts going off? You just beat the number 1 seed. I mean, UConn, I don't know if Muss is going to bring him off the bench. I don't know if he's going to start him. I don't know what he's going to do. What I do know is this team has gotten to the Sweet 16 without Nick doing anything offensively. So what's the ceiling of this team if Nick starts hitting shots? What's the ceiling of this team if he starts getting into rhythm offensively? That's the question I kept asking. You still haven't even had to answer that question because he hasn't done that yet. You beat Kansas without Nick really doing anything offensively. Something to keep an eye on as we continue on through the NCAA tournament. Hey, if your bracket busted, I know mine is. Now, Christian right now is actually the leader of all our ESPN Arkansas talent. Hey, don't say that. It could. It could. Now, if you haven't signed up for our March Fever bracket challenge, or maybe you have signed up and you're like, oh, Tom, my bracket's busted. Well, it's the Sweet 16 bracket. We have several different bracket challenges, which are great, and that means you have a chance to win. Again, it's always brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, 810 Billiards and Bowling, Wheels RV in Springdale, and Chris Dooley, Shelter Insurance Agent. Dooley! Go to hitthatline.com if you want to update your Sweet 16 bracket challenge. It's also brought to you by Crane Used Super Center in Fort Smith, the Grease Pig Lube and Tune in Fayetteville, and High Tech Truck and Refrigeration in Van Buren. Chuck Barrett joins us next.
ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com's exclusive coverage of the NCAA tournament is brought to you by Mossback Fish Habitat. Made in Arkansas, the leading manufacturer of artificial fish habitat designed to enhance your fishery. Get your fish habitat products today at mossbackfishhabitat.com.
And Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price. At Mock Legal Solutions, we offer a flat fee.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Remember this top 10 hit from 1983? Boy George, I Think You've Got It. It's Church of the Poison Mind by Culture Club. The culture is continuing to poison the minds of our youth by clubbing them with everything but the truth. But when we heed God's word, He gives us the solution to all the gender confusion. The true poison is believing that evil is good and good is evil. I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Think about it.
BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from the NFL and bowl season to esports. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. We're the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite leagues and events. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. That's BLEAV. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide top quality pressure washing and exterior cleaning services for your property.
What all do you service?
Fence washing, gutter, or deep concrete cleaning for your home, commercial business, and more.
Do you have insurance?
Absolutely. We're covered with liability insurance, and we also use safe and effective wash methods, leaving your home or business looking brand new.
I guess I need to go to your website, mjmobilewash.com.
Or just give me a call at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all. When you stay overnight, you want the accommodations to feel comfortable and feel like home. Well, at Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels, you get exactly that. You can check out all their locations at bphotels.com. They have locations in Fayetteville, Bentonville, Little Rock, Jonesboro, Conway, El Dorado, Arkadelphia, North Little Rock, Bryant, Hot Springs, Ardmore, Oklahoma, and coming soon to Kansas City. bphotels.com. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels, looking forward to serving you in 2023.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Or online at rathauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Y'all ready for this?
You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
One more for the Big 12 Player of the Year. He banked it in. He didn't mean to. He banked it in. Arkansas throws it into Kamani, back to Black. Vegas, baby! Vegas, baby! Hogs are going to the Sweet 16! Hogs are going to the Sweet 16! Vegas, baby! The Razorbacks, for the third straight year, are headed to the Sweet 16, 72-71, the final over Kansas.
Hey, back here on the Morning Rush, Chuck Barrett set to join us in just a set. Vegas, baby. We're heading off to Vegas. Cannot wait for that. And because the Must Bus is still rolling along, so are we. Live tournament coverage here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com is going to be, not only as it was in Des Moines, Iowa last week, it's also going to be in Vegas this week. So make sure you're listening. The Morning Rush, Halftime, Ruskin and Zach, following all our social media pages, hitthatline.com, and our YouTube channel as well. Once again, David Keene and Mossback Fish Habitat are hopping on the Must Bus. Now, David and his team are the leading manufacturer in fish habitats here in Arkansas, designed to enhance your fishery and increase your fishing success rate. So if you have a pond, if you have a dock, if you have a lake, whatever wherever you fish, David Keene and his team can help you out. Go to mossbackfishhabitat.com to get all your fish habitat products. And Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price. At Mock Legal Solutions, we offer a flat fee, no hourly billing, no low down payments to get your case started, and payment plans to fit your budget. Go to mocklegalsolutions.com to schedule a free consultations. That's mocklegalsolutions.com. Chuck, good morning. What's up, man?
Well, not much. Kind of like everybody else. I'm just kind of basking in the glow of Saturday and looking forward to this week. Thursday can't get here soon enough.
I'll give you credit. Your check grabs you during the midst of your game-winning call. Lissa got a great video of that reaction, and I don't know how you kept it together. I left. I was sitting right behind you and Z, and Arkansas didn't have a great first half, and I was like, I can't do this. I'm too stressed. So I went up and watched the game with my buddies, but how you kept it together at the tail end of that game is beyond me.
Well, it was an exciting game. I mean, it was one of those times when, your emotion just kind of took over, and I think it was that way for everybody watching the game. For everybody watching the game, listening to the game, whatever your situation was. I think that, you just felt that rush of emotion that, it's hard to describe, but you know it when you feel it. It's one of those moments we'll remember the rest of our lives. I mean, whether you were there, whether you were watching on television with friends or just driving down the road, you'll remember exactly where you were when all that happened. I can tell you in my life, I mean, the great wins, I can remember exactly where I was and who I was with. And this is one of those kind of games, and we're going to remember it the rest of our lives.
If you've got something to ask Chuck, say to me, and Christian, feel free to text, call in 877-377-6963. I think a lot of people, Chuck, expected this team to fold in the second half when Kansas started to go on that run. Even with KJ Adams and Udo and foul trouble for the Jayhawks, they were able to still get a 12-point lead. But, I mean, this team kept battling back, and it was really all about Devonte Davis, who had 21 second-half points.
Devo put the whole state on his back Saturday and carried the entire fan base to one of the great wins in our program's history. I mean, he was just he was just phenomenal. Words fail me, I think, when you talk about what he did in the second half and what it did to elevate this team. And Others played well too. I'm not saying it was a one-man gang. It wasn't. But Devo's the one that led the way. And we've talked a lot this year about how this team would go as far as he would take them because he's the leader of this team, whether he wants to be or not. And there have been times early in Devo's career I didn't know if he really wanted to be that guy. But he wants to be that guy now, and he's good at it. And I think we saw that on Saturday. And, you know, they can beat UConn without Devo having a great game, I think. Other guys would obviously have to step up. But regardless, Devonte Davis became a legend on Saturday. He'll live forever. He'll live forever in Razorback lore. And I can tell you there are not that many that are in that club, but he's in it now. And he was just phenomenal. It was a guy that just he had a will to win. He had a will inside him that the other players on the floor, as great as they were, just didn't have. And that's why they're going where they're going.
Chuck, one of the things I brought up, and I wanted to just go back and double-check because I thought my memory was correct, Devo originally committed to Oklahoma State and flipped when Muss got hired. I mean, how different do you think the Muss era would look if he had not flipped and become a Razorback? I know that's something our listeners had contemplated a little bit this morning.
Well, I wouldn't spend more than a second on that because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he almost did or anything like that. Well, all that matters is what he's done. I mean, we should be talking about what he did on Saturday. This is a great performance. It's one of those moments again that will live forever. And he went out there and delivered it. So, that's what matters now. That's all that matters now.
Bradford Mountain Home texted in something I think that we talked a little bit on Saturday about, that Arkansas does have the advantage with UConn and St. Mary's playing yesterday and the Razorbacks concluding their game on Saturday. It's not a huge advantage, but Chuck, you do get one extra day of prep. You do get one extra day of rest before you take on the Huskies this Thursday.
Well, you do. You're right. And the rest is probably the biggest thing. A lot of their scout, I'm sure, on UConn came before last night. But if you watched them play last night, that's a pretty impressive team. And I think that, they probably, from that standpoint, pardon me, they were able to, they were able to sit, I'm going to guess, as a staff together and watch that game and do some things, relative to what they want to plan for this week. So, UConn's, they're really good. They pulled away from St. Mary's last night, and that big kid's, he's impressive, and they've got guards who can shoot. UConn's good. It's similar. They're similar in some respects to Arkansas. They struggled some in January. I was looking at their numbers. They lost 5 games in January.
Wow.
Mike Anderson's team beat them at UConn. St. John's beat them at UConn. They were 3-5 in January. Now, you can say, well, how'd they get to be a 4 seed? Well, that's a pretty good question. I haven't paid much attention until now. But, they went through some struggles. But they got hot and they got well. And, that's what Arkansas has done. So I think it's going to be a great matchup.
I think it is too. And, again, it's in the T-Mobile Center in Vegas. Chuck, I know that the NCAA doesn't give y'all much notice on when y'all – do you have any indication on when you think you'll leave in the next day or so?
Well, we'll leave sometime tomorrow. I have no idea what time, but they'll go out sometime tomorrow.
Cannot wait to get out there. I know we're flying out on Wednesday, going out of Tulsa, getting there about 1:30 or so, and should be a great experience. Chuck, I don't know about you. I know you've probably gotten already a barrage of text about tickets that you don't have, but
not really. No.
I have at least 15 people around my age that have already booked their flights, booked their hotels. If you've gotten tickets already, I was pleasantly surprised at how many people are going out to Vegas, and I think Arkansas is going to have another good crowd as they did in Des Moines.
Oh, I think they will. All your friends are single with disposable income, which helps in situations like this. I think there'll be people there. There were not as many in Des Moines as I think would have been had they been able to get tickets. This was Kansas's reward for being a top seed, and their fans gobbled them up. And let's be honest. Before this past weekend, a lot of Razorback fans didn't think they'd win the first game. And so, there were a lot of Kansas fans in that arena. I'm not saying it was a road game, but, it was more than a neutral site. So, it'll be different out there. And, I don't know. I'm going to guess UCLA will bring some people because, they're UCLA. They're close by. But I don't know that their fan base is huge like Arkansas's is. I think there'll probably be more UConn people there than you might think because, it's a great trip. It's a good place to go visit. And fans, if they're able to go. So, but I do think there will be Arkansas fans there. And I do think that every flight to Vegas, starting about Wednesday, every commercial flight's going to be a good number of Razorback fans on there, and you might hear somebody call the Hogs before it's over.
I'd say the X&A flights might be a little pricey if you're trying to.
Well, Little Rock's not going to be cheap either. I think people will come from all over the state. Depending on where you are, you'll either fly out of Little Rock or Fayetteville. Some will fly out of Fort Smith. But yeah, I think there's going to be a mad dash out there. How many? I don't know, but I'll bet those planes are full.
Yeah, Tommy. When I was doing the post game show, Chuck, he booked a flight and he said just call me after, and he was like, see if you can find something cheaper.
Well, good luck. Well, one thing to think about too, Ty, and Tommy, for those who didn't hear earlier when I'm sure you mentioned it, he's off on spring break this week with his family, but there are a lot of people on spring break right now. There are a lot of families in Arkansas who might, at a different time, buy a plane ticket on short notice, bite the bullet, spend the money, go to Vegas. But they're somewhere else right now. Or, they've got plans for this week that they've already paid for that can't change. So I don't know how that's going to affect things. Spring break's a bigger deal for, if you've got a family, if you've got kids in school and college and things like that, spring break's that's a big week. And so we'll see how that affects things. But that wouldn't just be for our school. It would be, I'm going to guess, for some others as well.
Yeah, a lot of maybe in stores, Connecticut and Los Angeles, California, and then also Gonzaga, and I can't think of
Kids love spring break, man. They're in Spokane. Kids love spring break regardless of where they live.
Yep. Nope. No doubt about it. Let's talk to Jimmy in Conway this morning here on Hot Take Monday. Good morning, Jimmy.
Top of the morning to you, fellas. I got two things for you here. When I was a young man, all of about 18 years old, in 91, Kansas beat us. And back then, I took the losses a whole lot harder. And that really hurt, losing to them, but it all got better when we knocked them out. It's just the roles were reversed. In 91, we were the better team and got beat. But anyway, it's all gone. It's avenged. That's how I look at it. And how about that guy named Kamani Johnson? He reminds me, and I'm not saying he's as good as, but he's got some Dennis Rodman in him. And I say that because he has a knack for getting to the ball, and he has a way of getting under the opponent's skin and aggravating them. He gets in people's heads. Those Kansas guys were so mad at him because he was it's just the way he does it. He knows what he's doing, and he's smart, and I love it. He's one of my favorite Razorbacks. He is all heart, and he gets after it. Great week, guys. Have a great week. See you.
Thanks, Jimmy.
There are two baskets that Kamani's going to be remembered for. The one Saturday and the one against San Diego State out in Maui, which turned out to be a really good win. I mean, look at what San Diego State and, look where San Diego State and Creighton are now. You think that wasn't a loaded tournament now that it's all settled at the end? But Kamani's going to be remembered for that stick back, biggest basket of his basketball career, biggest bucket of his basketball career on Saturday, stick back. And, when we're kids and we dream about hitting the game-winning shot in the driveway, it's never on a stick back. It's always on a step back, and Kamani made a great play at a big moment, and that's what he'll be remembered for, and he should be remembered for that.
Yeah, it's hard to put into words the intensity level that he brings in each game. And he referenced Dennis Rodman there. Both are 6'7", both are guys that are really physical, extremely talented in getting rebounds. And it's not like Kamani's just this huge 7'2" guy that just kind of takes up space. I mean, he battles each and every possession. I think that's why Arkansas fans love him so much.
Well, they do. Now, let's not confuse Kamani Johnson with Dennis Rodman, and I say that respectfully. Dennis Rodman's a Hall of Famer, so let's not quite go there. There's the same mentality. I do think that. Similar mentality, and I think that's what you have to do. But, Kamani, and here's the thing that I admire about him, frankly, because, there's lots of games he hadn't played. And, you think about that game out there at San Diego State, he hadn't played the entire tournament. That's why he was so good in the second half. He's the only one that wasn't dog-tired. And, there have been games where he just didn't – he didn't start on senior night. He didn't start on senior night, and then he's starting in the NCAA tournament. How roller coaster is that? So, but he stayed in the fight the whole time. And I can't tell that his mentality's ever wavered. If it has, it certainly hasn't shown on the floor. And I don't think I've seen no evidence of it in the small time that I've been around the team. He's been the same guy, whether he plays, whether he doesn't. And that's to be admired. That's a good quality. That's a quality that'll serve him well the rest of his life.
He's special, all right. And there's a lot of teammates that really like him, a lot of fans that really like him. And, again, like you said, 2 big shots he's hit this year, the putback against San Diego State, and then this one that put him up 2 on Saturday. And one of my favorite parts after wins is going in the locker room after the game. Here's Coach after the win.
I've been coaching a long time. I have never in my entire life been so proud of a team for 40 minutes. That was absolutely the greatest victory I've been a part of. Unbelievable, guys. So proud of you. Love you all. Hey, guess what? We're going to Vegas!
You could just feel the emotions coming through the airwaves, Chuck, on the conversation after the game.
Well, and here's the thing. I think everybody in our state felt that emotion. We had the great fortune to be there, and it is great fortune to have been there. You know how many people would trade places with either one of us having been at that game? 1 million. So, fortunate to be there. But I don't care where you were in our state. I don't care if you were even in the borders of our state. If you were a Razorback fan, that's how you felt. That's how you felt. You were pumping your fist. You were yelling. The same things everybody did. Same things we all did. You got grown-ups acting like 14-year-olds. That's the power of sports. That's what it does. It gives you those moments. And, we need to celebrate those players. They're the ones that gave us that moment. And, without it, we wouldn't be feeling the way we do today.
And each one of them, I know we've mainly mentioned so far Devonte Davis and Kamani Johnson. Ricky Council goes 10 of 11 from the free throw line. Anthony Black does a marvelous job on Grady Dick, defending him in the second half. You've got so many different guys that did. Little Jordan Walsh with what I think is the play of the game with the offensive rebound he helped Ricky get. There's so many little instances that you needed to get that win, and this team, despite being young at some areas, just found a way to beat an older veteran Kansas team, Chuck.
Well, the thing I like is when you win like that, you see everybody celebrate, even the guys that don't play all that much. Just to be part of that every day, even for the players, even for the walk-ons. I saw Kate Arbogast going nuts. Lawson Blake did the same thing. They were all having a great time. We got to the end of the game, and because of the fouls, he's going offense, defense, substitution with Pinion and Ford. Who'd have thought we'd see that? Who thought we'd see that? So everybody had a hand in this, and everybody celebrated, and that's what makes it special.
Pretty special, Chuck. Tell you what else is special is your friends over at Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company.
They are indeed, and I partnered with them twice, and I can tell you, if you do the same thing, if you're a buyer or a seller, if you're in the real estate game, by choice or by necessity, these are the guys you want to partner with because they're real estate professionals. They do it every day. I read the newspaper. Well, I guess it's not the newspaper anymore. I read my phone just like everybody else does, and there's all kinds of news every day about the housing market. Good here, bad here, great here, slowing down here. You need somebody that handles it every day to know what it means to you. whether you're the seller or the buyer. And that's what they're really good at. They get you from contract to close. Things come up. Lots of contracts terminate before close. I think you'll find that with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, that's not going to be an issue, because that's what happens when you deal with pros. You get from the contract to the close, you get in the home, you get your money, and everybody walks away in a good experience. Now, they've got an office in Fayetteville. They're in Springdale, Bentonville, Fort Smith, Branson. You're going to see their yellow signs all over town, and you can log on to WeichertGriffin.com.
Chuck, we've already gotten 5 or so texts about Nick Smith Jr. this morning, and I'll go back to what I said earlier. The fact that you're able to win these 2 games without Nick having a good offensive performance, I think speaks volumes to what your ceiling could be. Also, people are making a big deal about him deleting social media after the game or having it off for a period of time. I just thought that he thinks it's a distraction. He doesn't want to get unfocused from the task at hand. Just kind of your thoughts on the last 2 games from Nick and that part of the equation as well.
You know, I'm going to take up for Nick Smith right here. And I was as frustrated as a lot of fans, you know, during January and February. So what's going on here? I mean, what's going on here? I thought the very same thing. But I've had a chance to be around him a little bit. And look, I don't talk a lot about, you know, what goes on when I'm around the teams, because that's their domain, and I'm a guest. And you know, I keep a lot of that to myself. But I am going to say this. This is a good kid. He's a good kid. I've never seen a change in his demeanor. He's energetic. He's friendly. He bounces around. I know to a lot of our fans around the state, he's an enigma because they don't really know him, because he's not been out there a lot. And apparently he's going to be gone pretty quickly. But this is a good kid. And he's like Devo, and he's like these other kids from Arkansas. He feels it in his heart, and he wears his heart on his sleeve. But this is a good kid. And I'm glad he's playing the time that he's playing. You know, this is about the team. It's about the team. It's not about Nick Smith Jr. And I'm going to tell you, I think he's been a lot more accepting of that than perhaps people think. Now, I know everybody wants to do well individually, but you don't want a guy on your team that is happy when he scores 25 and you get beat. You don't want that kind of guy on your team. And Nick's not that guy. He's not that guy. And, you know, people get on him a lot, and I think it's the frustration of the fact that they didn't get to see him play as much as they wanted. They didn't get to see him blossom into what they thought he was going to be. But I'm glad he's here. I think he's a good Razorback. I know he feels it in his heart. I know he'll be there on that plane, and I know he'll be ready to go Thursday. But I also know this team can win if he's not having a great game. And that's what you want to.
And they've showed that the last 2 games. What I noticed in the second half is not only getting a chance to watch it live, but watching the replays, watching the highlights, is Nick pretty animated on the sidelines when his teammates are doing something positive. And sometimes when you get benched, which he did in the Illinois game and he did in the Kansas game, you lose energy. Nick didn't seem to do that. And the emotions are really good. Shot from Nick Walters, who worked for Fox 16 in Little Rock, and he was just interviewing Nick and just the emotional side of things, and he's got his teammates hugging him and stuff, because he's probably been more heavily criticized freshman than maybe anyone in the history of the basketball program based on everything going on. And so for them to advance despite him not having a good offensive game, I'm just wondering, Chuck, what could this team be if he starts blowing up offensively? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, it would help, you know, certainly would. Now, obviously, they're getting enough points to win in different places, and if he scores, other guys won't score as much. That's just kind of how it goes. So you're only going to get a certain number of possessions. It's not like if Nick scores 25, you're going to get more possessions. It's not make it, take it. So, I mean, you're still going to get the ball pretty much the same amount of time, and if he scores a lot, then others won't. So, you know, again, it's a team game. It's a team game. And your goal is to score one more point than the other team. And that's what they did on Saturday. If it's with Nick, great. You know, you don't beat Auburn at the conference tournament without him. There's other games. You don't beat Oklahoma back in December without him. You know, there's lots of times that, you know, you're going to need a great player to be a great player. But there's other great players on this team. And, you know, if Nick had scored 25, we wouldn't be talking about Devo today. We'd be talking about Nick. So, they won the game. And people read way too much into this social media stuff, way too much into that. And, that happens sometimes. But Nick's fine. I mean, he's fine. And I wouldn't worry about that.
Still a lot to get into with Chuck here on a Hot Take Monday edition of the Morning Rush. You can call or text in at any point. We'll get you on with this. Hey, we're brought to you by Wheels RV in Springdale. They always bring you Hot Take Monday, and they have so much to offer you in 2023. They have new brands plus pre-owns like Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, and Alliance. Good thing about Chris and Lee J is they can help you with the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with a lifetime warranty on every new RV. Plus, they have a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. Come on in and see why they were voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west off I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV. Hour number 2, more audio to get to from us, Devo, and more.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
And this is Robert.
And we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Matt, this is an awesome time of the year.
Dad, I agree. Winter's almost over, and it's beginning to feel like spring.
Plus, it's Razorback basketball and baseball time.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need, whether it's a shirt for the game, decorations for the wall, or furniture for the man cave.
Or my favorite thing.
Let me guess, stuff for the grill?
Yep, a new line of grilling tools with baseball bat handles just hit the door. I'm talking spatulas, tongs, the entire works.
Yeah, Dad, we know you like the grill, but Mom's the real grill master.
Now, hold on just a minute.
Hang on, that's your dad's side showing
What?
again.
Where?
Oh, never mind.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and check out all the new Razorback stuff for tournament time and baseball season.
Dad, you might want to tell them where we are first.
Oh, yeah. We're at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium, or you can call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486. And, Matt, tell them about that interfacegram, that stuff.
What he means to say is our website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Semaglutide is a weight loss game changer. That's what the medical community is saying about the latest FDA-approved weight loss medication. Vici Aesthetics and Wellness is offering a detailed program to all of Arkansas, in-office or telemedicine visits available. So to schedule your medical consultation and get started on the #1 prescription choice by medical professionals for safe and effective weight loss while also reducing cardiovascular risk factors, call or text 479-343-8424. 479-343-8424.
The Inventory Liquidation Event, Thursday through Monday at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Harry Robinson has combined all of their used cars onto one lot for 5 days only. Over 500 vehicles deeply discounted. Multiple lenders and appraisers are on site. If you've been turned down elsewhere, Harry will get you financed. Cars as low as $49.95. No payments for 90 days. And nobody will pay you more for your trade. The Inventory Liquidation Event, Thursday through Monday. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like beer.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you farm, you have enough to worry about without worrying about how much more you're going to owe once your current variable or balloon interest rate increases. Interest rates are on the rise. This is the time to check out Farm Credit's long-term fixed rate options. Farm Credit offers the longest terms in the ag industry. Long-term fixed rates mean there's no surprises and your payments remain the same for the life of your loan. That's peace of mind in this changing interest rate climate. Find a Farm Credit office near you at myaglender.com. Set your operation up for success and rest easy. Equal housing lender.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit patriottransport.com to apply. That's patriottransport.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria is the #1 place to watch March Madness games this year. And for the rest of the way, they're doing $2 domestics during Hog basketball games. They're also doing $2 domestics during every Arkansas baseball game this season. You don't want to miss out. For to-go orders during March Madness, call 479-783-9941. 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Springtime is finally here, and Road Chevrolet in Van Buren has the savings you need. Enjoy a 6-quart full synthetic oil change for $59.95 with a tire rotation at no additional charge. And save money by getting a 4-wheel alignment for only $79.95. To save even more, if you've never met our service manager, Ronald Peters, come and shake his hand and save $20 off any other service. It's as easy as a handshake. Road Chevrolet Van Buren and Rhodes Tire Center. Prices you'll love, people you can trust.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our temperature's not quite as cool. We'll manage the mid-50s. An increase in the cloud cover tonight. Few showers possible. An overnight low in the upper 30s. Showers especially early on Tuesday, especially across the north. That's where we see the most widespread rain. Our high in the low 50s north, upper 50s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Metters Lumber True Value, with locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville. There's always a Metters Lumber near you.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
Put in a lot of work. It's crazy. Oh, no, it's crazy. I feel good. I'm glad we came out with the win.
What makes you tear up? What are you thinking about?
Just put in the work. This team is struggling. We figured it out. And I'm glad we did at the right time. And hopefully we continue to do it.
You earned it. You enjoy every second of this, young man.
Thanks.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
40-year-old adolescents, felons, power drinkers, and trustees of modern chemistry.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Were you going to have a party here tonight, son? I don't know what that was all about.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
That seducer and spoiler must be stopped. He's extremely dangerous.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
The Morning Rush starts right now.
It is hour number 2 of the Morning Rush, live on a Hot Take Monday as the Arkansas Razorbacks defeat the Kansas Jayhawks, #1 seed. Back-to-back years you've been a #1 seed. Only the 4th time in NCAA tournament history that's happened. Chuck Barrett with us, Ty Richardson, Christian Johnson. Tommy's on vacation. He's in Cozumel, or whatever. So just be me and Chuck this morning. Your calls and texts are welcome at 877-377-6963. Hot Take Monday, as always, brought to you by Wheels RV in Springdale. They can help you with everything you need. You can get a brand new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance at the best prices. Plus, you're always going to get that lifetime warranty on every new RV, plus a mobile service shuttle to help keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in all of Northwest Arkansas, 5 miles west off I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV. We're going to get in some more audio coming up from Muss, from some of Chuck's good calls from the day. We're going to talk about the best play from the weekend. Chuck, you and I were talking during the break for those going to Vegas, season ticket holders, people that requested for the T-Mobile Arena. They got that email last night, and if you didn't get that email, your best bet's just to go on Ticketmaster or StubHub if you want to go to the game.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how all that's going to work. I was told, and I'm not on the season ticket list, so I can't be absolutely certain that everybody has or has not gotten emails, but I was told by a season ticket holder that they were to be notified at some point late last night or this morning whether or not basically they'd made the cut. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's just going to be, do the best you can. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. I would guess that there's going to be some secondary markets that are filled with buyers this week.
I would probably agree with you on that. Let's welcome in Charlie, who's in Camden. Charlie, you're on the Morning Rush. What's up, man?
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing? Chuck, I even saw you getting up and celebrating after that win. Like that
was fun.
It was unbelievable. The emotions. I think a lot of people don't understand, as far as Devo goes, what he's been through since he's been here. Because I know up there, he's probably I'll just tell you guys how it is down here. He's a little bit disrespected down here in a sense because, a lot of people think this and that and, different guys should be playing more, blah, blah. The point is, this dude just became, he's already, in my opinion, proved throughout his career he shows up in big games in March. And, he just did it again, but I guess it's a different way he did it because, you think about he hasn't really been the guy the past few years, but he just has a knack for it. The moment doesn't bother him. And he just found a way. He willed his team because, let's be real, Anthony Black's hobbled, and I don't know what's going on with Nick. I'm not going to blame Rhythm anymore. I think he's got to figure it out. He's not playing well. He's either hurt or he's just not playing well because he's had enough time, in my opinion, to get back into a rhythm. I just think that he's got to figure it out. And hopefully, do you guys know anything? Because they kept saying during the game he was hurt, but I hadn't heard anything from any Arkansas media guys.
He's
fine.
That's what I
thought.
People are making way too much out of this. Look, here's the deal.
I agree.
Here's the deal. What's Nick going to do? Come in and say, Devo, pass me the ball. I know you're hot. I know you've put the whole state on your back. I know you're going to carry us to the Sweet 16, but let me have the ball. He's not going to do that, and Muss isn't going to let him. This is a team game. It's about winning. It's about surviving and advancing. If you can do it with Nick having a great game, that's awesome. But if it's somebody else, that's just as awesome. And I don't think Nick's as bothered by this as people think. I think he's having fun just like all the other guys are.
I referenced earlier, just watch him on the sidelines during the course of the game when guys are making and ones, when Jordan hit that three and various other things. It's not like he's down in the dumps. He's not just sulking or anything. He's celebrating with his teammates. There's not many five-star young men that would be okay with getting benched in the second half and then still supporting. But, all you just got to do is watch the tape. That's what I would say on that subject when it comes to when we're talking about Nick Smith Jr. Our friend Brent in Stuttgart has phoned in as well. Brent, go ahead, man. You're on the Morning Rush.
Oh, yeah. This is the piece of work from Stuttgart, Arkansas. I just want to tell you, Saturday was one of my greatest days in sports ever. The Hogs beat Auburn for the second time, and then a pack of smokes later, the Razorbacks defeat Kansas. And did I not tell you guys that the acting head coach from Kansas, he was not the winning edge for them Saturday? Did I not tell y'all that?
You did, Brent. You were right.
There you go. Hey, yeah, I was. I had recorded the game because I had to go run some errands, and everybody was blowing up my phone, and I didn't even want to answer it till I saw the final, till I saw it finally. And I mean, that was just an incredible game by the Razorbacks of just gritty toughness. That is all I can say. And Kansas, whoever guarded Grady Dick, shut down your lottery pick where he had nothing Saturday. 7 points, is that right, Chuck?
Yeah, he was. I mean, the way they held him, 7 points. He only got up 9 shots, and he's a guy that, I mean, he puts up a lot more shots than that. So that tells you he was denied the ball a lot.
Anthony Black did a great job on him in the second half. Devo was on him a good chunk of the game as well. Jordan was guarding Jalen Wilson and Grady Dick, and can't say enough about Jordan's game, including this three he can that really changed everything.
Anthony Black into the front court. They set a screen, double screen, top of the key. They free Walsh, pick and pop, three-pointer good! Walsh with a tray. The Hogs are up by 1. Norm Roberts wants a timeout on the other end. Jordan Walsh knocked down the three, and the Razorbacks have battled back to take a 1-point lead, 52-51.
It's one of the best plays of the game, but was it the play of the game coming up? We'll get your thoughts, your calls, your text on the play of the game from Saturday's win over the Kansas Jayhawks, 72-71 as Arkansas is the victor. We're going to be in Las Vegas this week. Cannot wait to get to T-Mobile Arena. Cannot wait to see all the Arkansas fans that are heading down there as well, because the Must Bus is still rolling along. So whether you're listening to the Morning Rush, Halftime, Ruskin and Zach, you're going to get live coverage all week long. And just like last week, David Keene and Mossback Fish Habitat are a part of our coverage this week. Made in Arkansas, the leading manufacturer in fish habitat, designed to enhance your fishery and increase your fishing success rate. So whether it's a dock, whether it's a lake, whether it's a pond, he can help you get your fishery to what it needs to be. Go to mossbackfishhabitat.com. And Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, a reasonable price. At Mock Legal Solutions, we offer a flat fee, no hourly billing, low down payments to get your case started. Go to mocklegalsolutions.com to schedule your free consultation. Again, what was the play of game? That's the burning question, and it's coming back next.
ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com's exclusive coverage of the NCAA tournament is brought to you by Mossback Fish Habitat. Made in Arkansas, the leading...
This video is powered by the pros at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Remember this top 10 hit from 1983? Boy George, I Think You've Got It. It's Church of the Poison Mind by Culture Club. The culture is continuing to poison the minds of our youth by clubbing them with everything but the truth. But when we heed God's word, He gives us the solution to all the gender confusion. The true poison is believing that evil is good and good is evil. I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Think about it.
BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from the NFL and bowl season to esports. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. We're the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite leagues and events. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. That's BLEAV. Bet online, where the game starts.
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide top quality pressure washing and exterior cleaning services for your property.
What all do you service?
Fence washing, gutter, or deep concrete cleaning for your home, commercial business, and more.
Do you have insurance?
Absolutely. We're covered with liability insurance, and we also use safe and effective wash methods, leaving your home or business looking brand new.
I guess I need to go to your website, mjmobilewash.com.
Or just give me a call at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all. When you stay overnight, you want the accommodations to feel comfortable and feel like home. Well, at Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels, you get exactly that. You can check out all their locations at bphotels.com. They have locations in Fayetteville, Bentonville, Little Rock, Jonesboro, Conway, El Dorado, Arkadelphia, North Little Rock, Bryant, Hot Springs, Ardmore, Oklahoma, and coming soon to Kansas City. bphotels.com. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels, looking forward to serving you in 2023.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yeah.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
It's time for the Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question. Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess.
I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
I've already gotten a few texts, a few messages on social media, and what people thought their play of the game from Saturday's win was. We will get to that coming up, and it would be important for me to mention, Chuck, we got the game time for Thursday, 6:15 Central. If you're watching it or listening to it here in Arkansas, but if you're watching it in Vegas, it'll be 4:15 that time.
Yeah, 4:15 local time, 6:15 here, and it's the CBS game. So this is the game that's going to be seen by most of the country on Thursday night. It's going to be prime time in the East Coast, 7:15. I consider that prime time. I know some of the TV people don't believe it starts until 8, but I think 7:15 is pretty prime time. So it's going to be seen by a good portion of America, and I mean it's the showcase game. Now I know that UCLA and Gonzaga will come a little bit later, but that's going to be really late in the East Coast time zone. So I think they're in a perfect spot, and hey, let's go.
It's the second game of the day when it comes to the 4 games this Thursday. So Arkansas in a really good spot, as Chuck said. And if you're making your way to Vegas, again, it'll be 4:15 local time if you're trying to plan things out and fly up on Thursday. All right, here's the question, a Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily question. What was the play of the game? To me, it was what Jordan Walsh did on that rebound.
The second one's up. No good. Rims out. Kansas had it. Lost it. Council picks it up. Shot won't go, but they fouled him. Kansas had it. Lost it. And Council's going back to the free throw line. Arkansas's up 1, and there's 20.4 to play.
Chuck, Bryan, and Rogers agrees with me. We've got some other texts as well, but to me, it's really hard to say that wasn't the play of the game.
It's a big play. Lots of big plays. Kamani's stick back was a big play. Walsh had a 3 from the wing that was a big play. And I just thought that, there were a lot of them. It's hard to pick one. And, you can make a strong case for all of them. Everybody that picks one's probably going to be able to make a pretty good argument.
There's plenty of things. The Walsh, I will say, the loudest, outside of the game concluding, the loudest I felt like that Wells Fargo Arena got was when Walsh canned that three, and Anthony Black made a great pass over Grady Dick and Jordan. There was no one within 10 feet of him, and he just got it, spotted it up, and drilled it. And Arkansas at that point was on a pretty heavy run and overtook the Jayhawks, at least to the lead at that moment. But you think about it, Chuck, and I didn't realize this till Muss referenced it after the game. They held a lead for 1:43. That's it. They had a lead for not even 2 minutes of that ball game, and you still found a way to win.
All you got to do is be ahead when it strikes zero. And, I mean, I say it like it's easy. It's not easy, but that's the only score that matters at the end of the day. You know, Walsh's three came, I guess, a couple of trips after, you know, he passed on a three in the corner. I thought he was wide open. I thought it was a shot he should have taken. And it was almost like he didn't want to. And you think, oh, no. But then they run the play, and they pick and pop, and he's wide open. And, I mean, he just stepped into it and drilled it. I mean, it didn't rattle in. I mean, he drilled it. And that was a confident kid. And so, hey, Walsh does a lot of things, scoring and otherwise, to help you win. You know, we talk about Devo's defense, and it is really good. But Jordan Walsh is not that far behind. I mean, Jordan Walsh has become a great defender. And he's got one of those games that it may not be the kind of game that gives you 18 and 12 and everybody's driving home thinking, man, I see why he was a five-star. But, you know, you talk about toughness stats and you talk about gritty play and you look at the plus-minus. And, I mean, this guy knows what he's doing.
He had played.
And I'll tell you this, too. Let me say this one more thing.
Okay.
He's playing through a lot of pain right now. Adrenaline's a great healer. But I'm going to tell you, when it stops flowing, all those, you know, and in his case, the lower back, it starts hurting again. He's taking treatment every day right now. And if you've been an athlete, and I'm not saying I have, but if you've been one, you know that, you know, you've got to be as diligent in your treatment as you are in your preparation physically and mentally for the game, or you're not going to be able to go out there and do everything you need to do. And, frankly, some guys are more diligent than others. But he is – you can tell that he wants to play. And the training staff's done a really good job getting him ready to play. Because, again, when that adrenaline wears off, you know, a lot of these guys are physically aching. Not just on our team, on a lot of teams. Every team, pretty much.
Yeah. And, again, the defense you talked about, he actually played against Jalen Wilson a little bit in high school and AAU ball. They know each other. Played Grady Dick at the All-American game and practices and stuff. So he had some working knowledge of Kansas's probably two best offensive players, and it definitely showed that he could get to him a little bit. Had a great steal as well on Jalen Wilson that I remember going off his knee, that if you look back at that. That is your red – go ahead, Chuck.
No. You go ahead. Finish up.
That is your Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question. Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
This hour of Chuck Barrett on the Morning Rush is presented by Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. Schedule your service appointment today at gopascal.com.
You know, back to Jordan for a sec, Chuck. Jordan's really, for the most part, pretty steady Eddie, pretty rock solid, even if things sometimes don't go his way. I feel like that he's pretty calm in his demeanor as a freshman, and I love watching him after games when he kind of lets loose and celebrate. But when he hit that three, that's one of the more emotional sides of him I've seen outside of just the conclusion of a game all season.
You know, sometimes when a guy wears a stern look on the floor, you think that's how he is all the time. Or you think that, you know, they're not enjoying it maybe as somebody else. And that's just not true. That's just not true. And you know, Walsh is one of these guys that, you know, he does let, you know, what I'd call the human side, maybe the side people don't see during the game. I mean, you do see that after the game. And I can tell you, you know, from the post-game interview at the conference tournament and just watching him, you know, if you've seen all the videos, and I'm sure people have, I mean, he's one of the first ones over there in front of the fans. And so these kids show emotion in different ways, and they play the game mentally in different ways. And some wear their heart on their sleeve during the game, and some don't. but it doesn't mean they don't feel the same things.
Tell you wears his heart on the sleeve after Razorback wins is Sterling in Center Ridge. Sterling, welcome in to a Hot Take Monday, man. What's going on?
Man, it's hard to explain what a wonderful week and this has been for me sports-wise. It's just amazing. Team USA and that World Baseball Classic, and and Cowboys making moves, and it's just been a wonderful week. Sweet by the baseball team, but back to the main thing that's going on. There's 3 instances during this ball game that they're not the biggest players of the game, but I thought they told the story about the game. If I'm saying it the right way here, at the beginning of the game, we gave up at least 3 shot attempts. They got a couple offensive rebounds. It may have been 3 offensive rebounds. And they had the ball, like if it was football, they had major time possession on the first or second possession of the ball game, and they didn't score with all them chances. And it happened again later in the game in the second half. Well, Kansas just getting rebound and put back and missing, rebound, put back over. We'll lose the ball out of bounds. We'll get it and they'll steal it. And the ball just stayed in their possession. And they didn't score there either. So that's 2 times. Now, we out-rebounded them by 7 for the game, and that's at least about 7 rebounds right there. That they out-rebounded 7-0 right there. And we still out-rebounded them by 7. So it would have been 14 for those 2 possessions. And when he dribbled that ball up the court, got that 10-second call with really no pressure. He just lost track of time, was taking his time.
Mm-hmm.
We stole, like they say in football, we stole a possession right there. That was a total steal of a possession without us doing anything. And with them having the opportunity to go up 2 possessions or maybe 3 possessions right there, and they blew it on just him just lollygagging up the court. And them three times right there, I thought were very important in the outcome of the game. Even though they're not as impactful, I say like the putback and Walsh's 3, which if you ever want to do a shooting clinic, that 3 right there, that was a textbook jumper by Walsh right there. If you just if you just saw them for the first time in your life, saw Walsh shoot that shot, you would think he was a dead-eye shooter from 3, because that sucker was perfect. I mean,
he's done that a few times. He's done that a few times. It's like right out of a video.
He's got the pure shot on the team. I would probably echo that, Sterling. Not necessarily the best shooter, but best looking shot on the team.
He just looked like a basketball player. He just looked like I love him, and like Chuck was saying, he just it's not always in the stats, but when you watch the game, he's impactful. And when he fouled out, that's a loss. And when you look at the stats, it don't show up there. But if you watch the game, and anything about basketball, his presence is felt, and you're a ball player when you do things like that. And guys, I'm glad we play in Connecticut and than St. Mary's. When I see St. Mary's, I know they're good. I know they're a fine basketball team, right? And I know what they can do. But when I see them, my eyes don't respect them. And I know I should, but my eyes don't. And it's hard to get my mental. If I was a player, it seemed like it'd be hard for me to really tone in to not think that I should win this game. I would not give them the proper respect. But when I see Connecticut, my eyes tell me this is going to be a chore. And I think that's better for a young team than it is for an experienced team. But that's just me. And I know everybody love it. I'm still not a fan of the shirt taking off and my coach on the scores table. But if that's the only way we can win, I'll take it.
Well, I think everybody gets a pass for the way they reacted at the end of that game. And, it's one of those things where I think some people would have been disappointed if he hadn't done it. So, that's just kind of where it is. He was talking about the rebounds, and, you were talking about the biggest play. And I don't know that Kamani's stick back was the biggest play of the game, but for me it was just kind of the exclamation point that we're tougher than you. You look at the offensive rebounds, and you look at, the second chance points, and, what Gus Argenal at the conference tournament, or I guess after the Illinois game, called him toughness stats. Not the percentages on the shooting, not the three-point percentages, the toughness stats. You got to get on down into the stat line before you find them. And I thought for the better part of the game, Kansas is really good. But Arkansas was a tougher team. They were a grittier team. And at the end of the game, I thought that's what won it for them. That's how you're able to win. When maybe the other team, when you look at all the numbers, it's like, wow, they can put the ball in the basket. When they've been doing that to a great extent, and they've been doing what they do, but you're hanging in there, and they get a 10-point lead, and you battle back, 12-point lead, whatever it was. You battle back, you chip away. And all of a sudden you're right there at the end and you get a big board and a stick pack and it's like, man, we're the tougher team. And so that's for me why if I had to pick a play, that might be the one I'd pick. Even though you can make a case again, Sterling just did for a lot of other plays. Sterling knows the game. And, I always enjoy hearing from him.
He's a good good call.
Hey, let me say this, too, before we go on. I want to talk about my friends at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric, and here's why. Our heaters are getting a workout again. We thought we were going to AC weather. We thought we might even be through a stretch where we did, AC and heater during the same day. Right now it's about that heater. If your heater's leaving you out in the cold, if it smells funny, or if it's grinding and doing all those things where you know there's a problem, or maybe it's just not flat out keeping you comfortable. If it's time for a new heating and air system, you do deserve the best. And right now you can get a complete Pascal system replacement starting at only $99 a month. So don't settle for good when you can have the best. Schedule today. GoPascal.com. You've heard me talking about their plant protection program. They will fix you up, and I promise you it's not something you'll worry about because they'll take care of it all year long. Professional people, professional service, Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines and welcome in Alan, who's in Mountain Pine. Alan, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, talking about the play of the game, and you're right. All of those would make really good candidates, but Chuck kind of gave me a good segue. You get towards the end of the game, and they make that free throw. Now, they were as surprised, I think, as anybody that free throw went in, but then we inbounded it quick, got it over to AB, and ran off those last 3 seconds. And I think just the presence of mind to be able to do that. Kansas looked confused, and we didn't, and I thought that was huge.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they threw the ball into the open guy, and he threw it right into a guy that was even more open, and that didn't give them a chance to foul. And, they handled it pretty well. It was a perfect bank.
Yeah.
I know he was trying to hit the back of the iron, but it was a perfect bank.
It's just it was Arkansas's day. When that shot went in, and you don't really say that most of the time on a basketball court, when Daniels intentionally tried to miss it and he banked it in, then you knew it was just going. And then heads-up play from Kamani, as you're talking about, to get it right back to AB, and then AB to dribble it out and in the basketball game. And watching Arkansas celebrate at that moment will – as Chuck was talking about in hour number one, that's something you will remember the rest of your life, exactly where you were. Whether you were in Des Moines or you're watching on TV or you're listening to Chuck and Z, that was one of the more special moments that you've gotten to see with this Razorback basketball team. Tell you what else was special is listening to the team talk about going to Vegas. Here's Devo saying, hey, we're going.
The whole team. It's not just me. Yeah. We work too hard for this, bro. Yeah.
Hey, we going to Vegas.
Now we going to Vegas. Now we going to Vegas. You know what they say in Vegas.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, Chuck. And not only is Devo saying that, but you heard the rest of the team as well.
Well, they're going to have a great time and a great trip. It is about basketball. You're not going on vacation. It is about basketball. And those are the things you have to remember when you get in a situation like this. I do want to say this, though. For the vast majority, 99% of Razorback fans, this is going to be a TV game on Thursday night. We're privileged to get to be there. And it's fun to talk about being there. And it's fun to watch the videos from those who were there. But those people, myself included, we don't feel any more emotion than Alan in Mountain Pine watching on his television with all his family members. Because when you talk about, and we did talk about this was one of those games you'll remember where you were the rest of your life. But you'll also remember who you were with. And for a lot of people, again, it's great to talk about being there. But for the vast majority of our fan base, this is going to be about planning where you're going to be and who you're going to be with at 6:15 on Thursday. It's not about getting a plane ticket. It's not about getting a hotel room. It's not about trying to make sure you got a good seat at the game. It's about getting with the people you care about, the people you watch Razorback games with, and having a big time on Thursday at 6:15. So that's who I'm thinking about right now because I've been right there. I've jumped out of my chair when Charles Ballantyne hit that shot. So I know what it means to the people of our state, and I know what Thursday night's going to mean. I know what Saturday meant. And everybody's going to have a big time wherever they are in our state. They're going to have a big time Thursday night.
Who wants to bring what food? Who wants to bring what beer? I mean, a lot of things on the itinerary. That
can we get off work early?
Yeah.
You got to get around. I mean, that's the real world. You got to get around. You got to be ready to go. So it's going to be a great week. Thursday can't get here soon enough for everybody.
Nope, cannot. And you think about where Arkansas basketball is as a program right now. So Hogstats, I was going through some of the statistics this morning. Chuck, you went to the Sweet 16, 93 through 96, so 4 straight years. This team's at 3 right now, but to go to back-to-back the Elite Eights, if you're able to close it out against UConn, who, by the way, is a 3.5-point favorite on the Bet Saracen app right now, which I think is great because I think it just gives this team more motivation. It's like we just beat the number 1 seed and we're still considered an underdog. That's a special moment if they're able to win this game and have back-to-back Elite Eights on Muss's resume.
Oh, well, I mean, just to have it happen on anybody's resume. I mean, respectfully but as we found out with Coach Richardson, and I say this respectfully, coaches will come and go. Muss is not going to be here forever. I mean, I hope he's here until he retires, but at some point he will. And there's going to be another guy. But, for the fans, we're going to be here the whole time. There's people right now that have, they fell in love with basketball with Eddie. And so whoever's resume it's on, it'll be special. And to have something like this happen, I'll say what I said in the 90s when I was about your age talking on the radio that, you better enjoy it because it's not going to last forever. Nothing lasts forever. And we found that out. And right now we're going through a period as a basketball fan base that we're going to talk about for years to come. And, again, that's why Thursday at 6:15 can't get here soon enough. Coaches and players got a lot of prep time. Fans would just like to fast forward this morning.
Hurry up and get it there. Well, speaking of love for basketball, I know people love doing March Madness brackets. A lot of them are busted. Hey, that's okay because at hitthatline.com we have our Sweet 16 bracket, which is great. So we're giving away a bunch of different prizes, you know that. And if you failed, like many of us did with our bracket, you can go to hitthatline.com and re-update what you think is going to happen at the Sweet 16. Really appreciate Buffalo Wild Wings, 810 Billiards and Bowling, Wheels RV, and Chris Dooley, Shelter Insurance Agent, for being a part. They are the presenting sponsors of the 2023 Fever Bracket Challenge from hitthatline.com and ESPN Arkansas. It's also brought to you by Edwards Auto Sales in Roland, Wood Power Sports across Arkansas, and Cops CDL Academy in Van Buren. Again, hitthatline.com. Go to the Sweet 16 portion of your bracket, redo that, set that up, see if you can have a much better attempt at this second go-round. Chuck, right now, Christian is actually leading the way of all of our ESPN Arkansas team. That props to him. Zach's in second. Zach won it last year. Anyone but Zach Arns winning this year would bring joy to my eyes. I can't deal with that if he wins back-to-back.
Well, he'll enjoy taunting you about that.
Gloating and stuff. My bracket's I think it's tied with Tommy, Maddie, and some others for third. It's not any good, but at least I told you this last week. I told everyone else. I really did think that Arkansas, if they beat Illinois, was going to beat Kansas. I just like that matchup. When you looked at the size on the court, that was one of those things where Arkansas wasn't at a size disadvantage like they might have been against Kansas in previous years. Kansas had a lot of talent, but, Arkansas really stacked up with them on Saturday.
I wondered how long it would be before you would say, I told you so.
Only an hour. Only an hour.
An hour and 7 minutes for me. It was a contest between you and Brent on who would say, I told you so first. Brent won.
He did.
But I knew both you guys would say that.
It was only about 5 second mention, but I did want to get that in there. But it's not.
You just wanted to make sure we all remembered, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't remember if I told you this.
You knew it was going to happen all the time. I don't know how many of our audience knows this, but Ty actually said during the middle of last week before the game, he said, Kamani's going to get a big stick back. Walsh is going to hit a 3. They're going to screw up the free throw miss at the end of the game, and we're going to win. It's uncanny how you knew that.
It was wild how I was able to predict all of that in the course of about 30 seconds. But sometimes you have a gift, Chuck. You have it in broadcasting. I have it in fortune telling, and we just each have it again. Still a lot to get to here. Hog update coming up. We hadn't talked about this baseball team sweeping the Auburn Tigers. They have been dominant as of late. They've got another midweek game tomorrow. They'll also get going in SEC play. Finally leave Baum-Walker Stadium coming up. Hey, we are brought to you, as always, by Gaston's White River Resort. Now, Tommy tells you about it all the time, and I'm going to do my best to tell you about it here. Gastons.com. Clint Gaston and his team, Jacob and their staff, always do a great job. Now, my parents, they don't even fish. They just go explore the nature, stay in the cabins, and they still have a lot of fun. But for those that like to trout fish, it's not just the best in Arkansas. It's the best in the country. You would be amazed at the people that fly into Gaston's and fish. The names, the celebrities that pop up, they keep that under wraps, but it's pretty incredible. Call 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202 for Gaston's White River Resort. Blackened chicken pasta is my favorite. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guts.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
And this is Robert.
And we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Matt, this is an awesome time of the year.
Dad, I agree. Winter's almost over, and it's beginning to feel like spring.
Plus, it's Razorback basketball and baseball time.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need, whether it's a shirt for the game, decorations for the wall, or furniture for the man cave.
Or my favorite thing.
Let me guess, stuff for the grill?
Yep, a new line of grilling tools with baseball bat handles just hit the door. I'm talking spatulas, tongs, the entire works.
Yeah, Dad, we know you like the grill, but Mom's the real grill master.
Now, hold on just a minute.
Hang on, that's your dad's side showing
what?
Again.
Where?
Oh, never mind.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop on Razorback and check out all the new Razorback stuff for tournament time and baseball season.
Dad, you might want to tell them where we are first.
Oh, yeah. We're at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum-Walker Stadium, or you can call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486. And, Matt, tell them about that interfacegram, that stuff.
What he means to say is our website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Semaglutide is a weight loss game changer. That's what the medical community is saying about the latest FDA-approved weight loss medication. Vici Aesthetics and Wellness is offering a detailed program to all of Arkansas, in-office or telemedicine visits available. So to schedule your medical consultation and get started on the #1 prescription choice by medical professionals for safe and effective weight loss while also reducing cardiovascular risk factors, call or text 479-343-8424. 479-343-8424.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. Over the years, we've helped thousands of customers drive better. It's simple really. Rath Road Ready used cars, live market value pricing, and award-winning Meineke Car Care Center service after the sale. It's what's made us Arkansas's favorite used car dealer. This month, you can start driving better too with up to $3,400 extra for your trade and savings up to $4,100 below retail. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center, now offering our exclusive Meineke Mile service contracts and prepaid maintenance plans that can add life and value to your car while saving you up to 20%. By the way, visit us on Facebook or at rathauto.com to register for our monthly contest. You can win a set of tires plus a Meineke Mile prepaid maintenance plan, $1,000 value. It's free and it's fun, but absolutely ends March 31st. Start driving better today with Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, or online at rathauto.com.
At Frank Pro Furniture, spring is
is on the way, and Frank Rowe Furniture is ready. We have new arrivals on Made in the USA furniture at unbelievable prices. We have two-piece sectionals starting at $13.49, recliners as low as $3.99, sofa and love starting at $13.99. Frank Rowe Furniture offers in-store no-credit check financing with the manager approval or a SEMA financing or SNAP financing. Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Hey, Wes.
Hey, it's for horses. Are my ears that long? Don't answer that.
What's the deal with our cheese?
The cheese is from Wisconsin.
Okay, so what? Ain't cheese just cheese?
Billy, I'm from Wisconsin.
Not to be rude, Wes, but who cares?
Wisconsin cows make for better cheese.
Aren't cows just cows? Don't they have cows out in California?
Wisconsin cows are better because of the ice.
Ain't there 4 ice in California?
Ice, not eyes.
The ice is the difference? Do cows skate or something? Do they play hockey too?
Oh, blessed Billy.
How does they put them their skates on them?
Jim's Razorback Pizza uses cheese from ice hockey playing cows from Wisconsin. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Hi, this is Ricky Smith, head basketball coach for the Northside Lady Bears. I dial 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
This is Northside head basketball coach Eric Burnett. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Take advantage of York Factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products.
782-8940.
Shop Meadow's Lumber True Value for great bargains of the month. Keep your home's pipes running smoothly with Zepp's 64-ounce 10-minute hair clog remover for only $6.99. Give your plants the food they need with Green Thumb's Moisture Mix for just $3.49. Need a new garden hose? Green Thumb's Never Kink garden hose is now $25.99. That's a $10 savings. Complete your gardening kit with your choice of Fiskars, Bypass Lopper, or Hedge Shears for just $22.99 for a savings of $13. It's always good to keep some WD-40 on hand. Snag a 12-ounce can for only $7.49. Meadow's Lumber True Value.
Springtime is finally here, and Road Chevrolet in Van Buren has the savings you need. Enjoy a 6-quart full synthetic oil change for $59.95 with a tire rotation at no additional charge. And save money by getting a 4-wheel alignment for only $79.95. To save even more, if you've never met our service manager, Ronald Peters, come and shake his hand and save $20 off any other service. It's as easy as a handshake. Road Chevrolet Van Buren and Rhodes Tire Center. Prices you'll love, people you can trust.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Oh, yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas Razorbacks in our championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
So Arkansas takes down Kansas 72-71, 6:15 Central Time is when you'll take on UConn this Thursday night. It's on CBS, as Chuck was talking about earlier, 4:15 local time in Vegas. But, Chuck, with it being kind of prime time, you're going to have a lot of people outside of just Arkansas and UConn fans that will be watching this game.
Yeah, the West Regional's got the two best games on Thursday night with our game with Kansas and then Gonzaga and UCLA. You had to figure as, UConn started to pull away that's what it was going to be. I was just wondering how early it would be Vegas time, how early they would start, which will be 4:15. I understand UCLA and Gonzaga being the second game. And, as I say, with about 10 minutes left in the UConn game, or maybe a little before that, it became pretty evident that it would be the early game out there. And then certainly when Gonzaga and TCU played the game they played last night, I think the announcement came about 10 o'clock, somewhere around in there is when I got the email. And 4:15, if you're going, you got to get around. If you're watching at home, you're going to have to get around. You're going to have to get off work and get home and get everything ready to go. So But it's prime time. And it's not like you've got to share the audience with another game. I mean, you're the game. You're the game that's on. And I know there's a game that, starts at, I guess, 5:30 or something like that. But this will be the game people turn to. And 7:15 in the Eastern time zone, there's going to be a huge audience for this game.
Massive audience. Arkansas opens as a 3.5-point underdog. I was pleasantly happy to see that this morning because you want to go to this game as an underdog. People still disrespecting you, still doubting you. Muss is going to feed into that heading into Thursday. We haven't given enough credit to this baseball team who just has won their 13th straight game, beat up on 5-0 yesterday. Cody Adcock, he was great in his first start. Jared Wagner hit his 9th home run of the season. They're finally concluding their 18th straight game at Baum-Walker Stadium tomorrow against Southeastern Missouri State. Then they'll go on the road in the SEC. But, Chuck, SEC, I know Auburn's not at the top of the West this year, but still an SEC team, and for you to sweep them at home, that's really good as you head into your, again, final home game in this stretch.
Yeah, it was kind of a crazy weekend in the league when you look around at what happened. Mizzou sweeps Tennessee, and, Mississippi State gets swept, I think, and Ole Miss got swept. And, to be 3-0, they're the only team in the West 3-0. So, that's a good team. Auburn hit the ball hard yesterday. If you watch the game, they hit some ropes, and they just got, Wagner made a couple of good plays, and they, they were just really solid defensively. But, to give up 3 hits on Sunday, and I know it was cold, and, Auburn's a lot warmer than Arkansas right now, and sometimes you get somebody down a little bit on a cold weekend and they'll quit. And I'm not saying they did, but they looked like they were probably ready to get out of here.
Other news in your Hog Update, Arkansas women's basketball hosts Stephen F. Austin tonight in the WNIT, 7 o'clock on SEC Network Plus, and then the rubber match between Alabama and Arkansas softball as Arkansas wins yesterday 5-3. That'll be 6 o'clock on the SEC Network. Last thing here in your Hog Update, Chuck, Taylor Moore, former Razorback golfer, wins his first PGA title. He's heading to Augusta after winning the Valspar Championship. How about that?
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm sure he put a lot of money in his pocket, and to qualify to go play in Augusta, I'm sure it's the thrill of a lifetime for him.
And he beat
great
out
for our program, and it's the thrill of a lifetime, I'm sure, for him.
And he beat out Longhorn and Jordan Spieth, which makes it that much sweeter. Now, you got me thinking. When talking about Razorback fans watching games in their house, in their television, it's a really funny clip. Here's Razorback Billy from Texarkana after Arkansas beats Kansas.
Oh, my
yes,
God.
Sir! Yes, sir! Let's go! Woo!
Oh, my gosh. Number 8 Arkansas just beat number 1 Kansas. Billy. Razorback Billy, what are you going to do?
I'm going to Vegas, baby!
He's going to Vegas, Chuck. It sounds like he's watching that game on his television in his living room, but I'm sure there was a lot more wild reactions outside of Razorback Billy based on that game on Saturday.
No doubt, and I'm sure there are lots of homes in Arkansas like that. People erupt. They go out in the yard. They yell and call their friends and, talk about it at Sunday school and church, which I'm sure a lot of people did yesterday. I don't know how many Sunday school lessons were actually taught yesterday. They were probably recapping the game, but that's that's how it is here. That's what we do. It's who we are. It's and I'm sure all those scenes were repeated all over the state.
Yeah, my nephews and niece wore Razorback gear to Sunday's church yesterday in Tulsa, which my stepsister and brother-in-law sent me those photos. I thought they were pretty funny. So I guarantee you they weren't the only ones that were sporting Razorback stuff yesterday or today. I think it's going to be a casual Monday for a lot of people, Chuck, after that win against the Kansas Jayhawks.
Well, it's going to be one of those weeks where you wear that logo and you're proud to wear it.
Exactly right. That is your Hog Update. As always, it is brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8
Let's talk to Robert, who's in Fayetteville. Robert, good morning.
Well, good morning, guys. What a weekend. I'm whipped.
and I got to give props to Mrs. Elizabeth. She's the reason we won, by the way. She was in the bedroom watching something else, and then we were not doing well, and then she came in to watch the TV with the rest of us in the Razorback game, and that's when we turned it on, when Arkansas really started playing well. So I got to give Elizabeth credit. Every time she said miss it, they'd miss a free throw. So I'm giving credit to my wife on that one. Chuck,
yes,
you there?
Sir. Yes, sir, I'm here.
So I got a question for you. First of all, Devo for president. I've already said that. But I got a question for you, Chuck. We all have heard, Mike Nail's national championship soundbite. Have you worked on yours yet? 3 times the charm,
I can remember asking Mike after that happened, did you have anything planned there? And he said, no, man, I just let the emotion run. So, I'll probably have a little something planned, but hey, I had Vegas, baby, planned too, and it was still a lot more emotional than I thought it was going to be honest with you.
I was going to ask you about that, if that was a spur-of-the-moment thing or if you kind of had that corked up, because it flowed pretty well.
It's the natural thing to say, and, honestly, I knew I was going to say it if we won, but I didn't plan on it, being a primal scream. But that's just how it went.
Well, when Z's going nuts next to you, Yurichek's grabbing you, it's hard to not get a little emotional at that point in time.
Hey, I'd have been emotional either way. It was a great, great moment, and privileged to be there.
Yeah, we're privileged to keep going another hour with you this morning. Hour 3 coming up. It's a Hot Take Monday. It's brought to you by Wheels RV in Springdale. Let Lee J and Chris help you with everything you need. They can get you a new RV or a pre-owned RV, and they have that mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. We have a great state for so many natural places that you want to explore. Stop by and see them 5 miles west off I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV. As I said, hour number 3 coming up. Chuck Barrett, Ty Richardson taking you with you next hour.
Tommy Craft for the Fitzman. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fitzman. 479-782-3936. The Fitzman does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fitzman. 479-782-3936. The Fitzman. He ain't afraid of no work. Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. The largest used car sales event in Fort Smith history is this weekend at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. 5 days only, Thursday through Monday. Harry Robinson has combined the inventories from Sallisaw and Fort Smith with over 500 vehicles deeply discounted for this weekend. Vehicles start at $49.95, state tax paid, and no payments for 90 days. Plus, bring your trade because nobody pays more than Harry Robinson. The inventory liquidation event. Special extended hours Thursday through Monday. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
What's new in 23 at the Golf Nut? Callaway Paradigm Woods and Irons in stock February 24th, and Cobra Aerojet Woods and Irons arriving February 9th. New Titleist Pro V1 will be in stock January 24th, and new golf bags and shoes arriving daily. Book a time on their hitting base with the TrackMan technology, or play a round of golf on one of their mini courses like Bethpage Black or Pebble Beach. Stop by the Golf Nut today, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Your #1 golf shop since 1994.
Advanced Mechanical Performance, your premier UTV, off-road, truck, and Jeep repair facility. Whether it's a lift kit, an oil change, or a complete makeover of your machine, go see Cody and the gang at AMP and get it right the first time. These guys know what they're doing and are doing what they know. Advanced Mechanical Performance, 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Call them today at 434-4161.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling.
Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Is there anything worse than a cold shower? How about water damage after a leaking water heater? If it's time for a new water heater, you deserve the best. Right now, take $150 off a new tank water heater, or upgrade to endless hot water with a tankless water heater and get $300 off. Don't settle for good when you can have the best. Schedule today at gopascal.com. Professional people, professional service. Pascal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Champion Cycling, located at 5500 Mazard Road, is the only locally owned bike shop in Fort Smith and wants to help you find the joy in cycling that has been part of their family for years. Their goal is to find the right bike for you, whether it's a road bike, mountain bike, or just a bike for leisure. Champion Cycling has a great selection of bikes, including brands from Specialized, Pivot, and Look. Whether it's fixing a flat tire or a basic tune-up, their dependable service department is ready to help. Stop by Champion Cycling and they will help you find your joy in cycling.
Peace of mind in buying a quality and well-maintained vehicle is top priority at Carco Auto Sales. Carco Auto Sales has been serving the River Valley and eastern Oklahoma for over 40 years and offers a variety of late model, low mileage vehicles at unbeatable values. Come see the team at 2810 Midland Boulevard today or give them a call at 783-1722. You can check them out online at buyfromcarco.com. Carco Auto Sales. When you're ready.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of sunshine. Our temperature's not quite as cool. We'll manage the mid-50s. An increase in the cloud cover tonight. Few showers possible. An overnight low in the upper 30s. Showers especially early on Tuesday, especially across the north. That's where we see the most widespread rain. Our high in the low 50s north, upper 50s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Metters Lumber True Value, with locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville. There's always a Metters Lumber near you.
All right, we still got a lot to get to here on the Morning Rush. Chuck Barrett, Ty Richardson, Tommy again on vacation. He's in Cozumel with his family as it is spring break. He doesn't get many of these opportunities with the Kigos, so that's what he'll be doing again all week long. We're going to be live in Vegas starting Wednesday. Excited about that. Going to get down there from Tulsa. I know a lot of people have been asking about tickets, flying and stuff. I would look not just at X&A and Little Rock, but I would look at Springfield. I would look at Kansas City. I would look at Tulsa, Dallas. There's a lot of places outside of just the Arkansas airports that maybe have an opportunity to fly. But cannot wait to get down there. Cannot wait to see what Arkansas has in store for UConn. Again, they opened up as 3.5-point underdogs on the Bet Sarah Snap. Hour 3 of the Morning Rush. Chuck Barrett, Ty Richardson, rolling along. Hot Take Monday is next.
KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3.
Put in a lot of work. It's crazy. Oh, no, it's crazy. I feel good. I'm glad we came out with the win.
What makes you tear up? What are you thinking about?
Just putting in the work. This team is struggling. We figured it out, and I'm glad we did at the right time, and hopefully we continue to do it.
You earned it. You enjoy every second of this, young man.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
40-year-old adolescents, felons, power drinkers, and trustees of modern chemistry.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Were you going to have a party here tonight, son? I don't know what that was all about.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
That seducer and spoiler must be stopped. He's extremely dangerous.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
The Morning Rush starts right now.
I thought Musk said something really cool after the game about his basketball team. We're going to talk about that coming up. It is hour number 3 of a Hot Take Monday. Plenty of discussion following Arkansas' 72-71 victory over the Kansas Jayhawks. Listen to this stat. The Jayhawks were 47-0 all-time in the NCAA tournament when leading by at least 8 points at halftime until they met the Arkansas Razorbacks this past Saturday. That is what you did as a basketball program and as a team to one of the more historical programs in all of college basketball. Great win. More to discuss coming up here on a Hot Take Monday. And it's, as always, brought to you by Wheels RV. Now, Lee J and Chris in Springdale can always help you out when you're trying to explore the natural state. You can explore all of Arkansas in a new RV like Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone Alliance, or find a pre-owned as well. And the great thing about every new RV is you get that lifetime warranty, plus a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. Come on in and discover why Wheels RV is the best RV dealership in all of Northwest Arkansas, 5 miles west of I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, and discover from Wheels RV. Here's Muss after the game.
Well, I've been coaching a long time. That's as great a win as I've ever been a part of. Again, because of the history of Kansas, because of some of their veteran players that were part of a championship team last year. You know, a lot of people didn't think we were going to win our first round game. I've continued to tell the guys internally, and I've continued to tell the staff that we are a team that continues to get better. That just doesn't happen this time of year, but because of all the circumstances that have happened, we're still evolving. We're still adding offensive plays. We're still adding defensive coverages. We're an evolving basketball team. I feel fortunate that these guys really buy into the prep. I mean, we went hard preparation-wise. These guys did not have hardly any time off.
They didn't, Chuck, and again, he's really, really proud of his basketball team and the way they battled back. I think there's a lot of people listening, myself included, that thought they were going to wilt in that second half, and they just refused to.
No, they didn't. They did not wilt at all, and they came back, and they displayed a lot of grit. And what matters now is what's happening in the tournament. We're seeing by the performance of the SEC that maybe some of those losses we thought weren't really, good, or they don't look quite as bad right now. And you look at the teams that Arkansas played in Maui, where they are right now. This has been a tough schedule. It's been a really, really tough schedule, and I think we sometimes get desensitized to that. And I'm not taking anything away from Illinois and Kansas, but, this team's ready for whatever the tournament brings them. And having played in the SEC this year, I think's prepared them for that, because our conference, I know there have been some losses. I know Kentucky lost yesterday, but there have been some really good wins too. And I think people around the country are realizing that the SEC is about more than football. This is a really good basketball league.
Yeah, and you mentioned Kentucky losing. They have not gotten out of the first weekend, in, I think, since 2018. So it's been quite a number of years for Cal and company since they've had really a lot of tournament success. Some of the other games that you watched in the Southeastern Conference, how about Tennessee dismantling Duke, Chuck? Duke, one of the hottest teams in college basketball, and Filipowski was talking after the game. That's the most physical team they played all year. I know Arkansas saw that firsthand in Knoxville, but Tennessee, even without Sakai Ziegler, back in the Sweet 16.
Ziegler averaged 6 assists a game. I mean, this guy was their general. And a lot of people, and, we thought it too. I thought it, that when he went down in that game in Knoxville, that, that was a season-altering injury for them. But Tennessee will guard you now. And that's the thing about the SEC. The upper echelon teams, they will guard you. And they will make you earn not just every basket. They will make you earn every pass. And, we're seeing that from the teams in our league, particularly the better teams. And Tennessee's one of the better teams. Rick Barnes is a Hall of Fame coach. And, you lose a couple of games in the tournament and people start writing you off, and that's happened with him a time or two. But he's one of the great coaches in the college game, and I'm not surprised at all. And, I found it funny. People talked about how, the ACC was down. ACC's not as good as it used to be. But, Duke's going to get to the Final Four. I mean, people were talking out of both sides of their mouth on that. And, Tennessee was better than Duke. And, they went out there and proved it. I mean, they just whipped them.
One of the more shocking games that I thought from the weekend was the fact that Princeton dismantled Missouri 78-63. They were 6.5-point underdogs, and yet the Ivy League team advances to the Sweet 16. I thought Missouri's guard play would be the difference in this one. Unfortunately for Dennis Gates, that was anything but the case, Chuck.
Well, see, it's interesting when you get to the tournament and you get to that second game. I mean, you look at a team like Furman. They just laid an egg, I guess, in that second game. And how mentally ready are you for all this? How can you do that 48-hour turnaround as a player and as a team? When you win an NCAA tournament game for the first time in a while, as Missouri did when they beat Utah State. It was a good win. I mean, it was a good win. A lot of people had picked Utah State to win that game. That's a good NCAA tournament win. But you got to turn around and do it again in 48 hours. And that's, in my opinion, as much, if not more, mental as it is physical. In fact, as I say it coming out of my mouth, it's obviously more mental than it is physical. So, you've got to be able to make that turn and, turn that page and get ready for the next game from a mental standpoint. And evidently, Princeton did a better job of that than Missouri did.
So you mentioned that Kansas State. Kentucky was up at one point later in the second half, but Kansas State just got going. Jerome Tane's one of the better coaches, first-year coach for Kansas State, the Wildcats, and they got the better of Kentucky in the second half. I was, and I can't remember the scat point guard's name for K-State, but he was wonderful for the Wildcats yesterday as they got a win. And then also Auburn, Chuck, this was one of the more interesting games. Auburn was up 10 or 12 at one point, and then Houston, as you mentioned several times, they don't get rattled, they don't get frustrated. They just kind of clawed their way back and eventually pulled away for a victory in Birmingham.
I mean, they trailed by 10 at the break, won by 17. Scored 50 points in the second half, basically playing Auburn in their own backyard. I thought that was a really impressive win. Houston's really good. When I look at the field right now, when I look at everybody that's left, I do think Alabama and Houston stand out. But I think after that, it's and I'm not saying they won't have a bad game. And if they do, and I've talked about the glare with Alabama, they may have a bad game, and they may play somebody here in the next week that has a great night when they have a bad night, and they may be eliminated. I mean, that's what happens in this tournament. But I do think that those two right now stand out. And but there's two other slots in the Final Four, and Arkansas's got a shot to go get one of them.
Bama smacked Maryland over the weekend as they advanced to the Sweet 16. Being in Louisville, they'll have a lot of fans from Tuscaloosa and Alabama that make their way to that game. So, again, a lot of games to get into. We'll come back to more of those, discuss more in your SEC update. But coming back to the Arkansas game, Chuck, is, again, the Razorbacks pull it off. One of the better upsets, not just of the weekend, but one of the better wins in Arkansas basketball history. I mean, there's a lot of things you can discuss. We've talked pretty lengthy about Kamani Johnson, Devo Davis, and Ricky Council as well. I can't get past the stat line of 25 points for Devo, 9 of 15, but 21 in the second half. 21 points for Devo in the second half. Chuck, at one point he had 10 straight points for the Hawks.
He took the whole state on his back. He took us for a ride on Saturday afternoon, and he scored 21, took over the game. And he willed his team, led his team, did everything that you would expect someone to do who's been there before, who's showing everybody else the way. It's not a coincidence that Devo had a great game and Kamani had a really good weekend. It's not a coincidence. Those are the guys who've been there. Those are the guys who understand how it's going to be. And I'm not just talking about what the game's going to be like, but everything else. Because if you don't handle everything else that comes with the NCAA tournament, you're not going to play well. You're just not. And, I wonder, I didn't see much of Missouri's game. I wonder if that's what happened to them, because Missouri's good. And that guy's a flat-out good coach up there. They're a good team. But, you got to be able to play the next one too. And I just think that, when you look at Devo and Kamani, those are the guys that led the way, because experience in this environment matters. And it doesn't mean that you can't play well having not been there before, but you need somebody who's been there to lead you. And that's what happened Saturday.
Let's talk to Pinto this morning. Pinto wants to talk more about Devo Davis. Go ahead, Pinto.
Yeah, woo pig. listen to this. Y'all may have talked about this in the first hour, but here's a statement released about the 1st of December. I'm excited to be back with my teammates and my I want to thank my family, my friends, our fans, the Razorback basketball program, especially Coach Must. I'm looking forward to continuing my development as a leader and a basketball player as this team focuses on our goals. Who said that?
That would be Devo Davis following the what happened in Maui and stuff.
Yeah, after he left the team for about a week. Isn't that amazing? I'm glad he came back.
He was at a crossroads there. I mean, not just in basketball, but in life probably, because when you're that age and you're playing basketball, as the saying goes, basketball is life. And so he was at a crossroads right there. And, fortunately, he chose the path he chose.
Yeah, and now Arkansas is the beneficiary and better off for it. And, again, Devonte Davis has 8 wins as an Arkansas Razorback in the NCAA tournament. Muss is 8-2. Devo has been a part of every single one of those wins. The only losses are to the national champion Baylor Bears and a really good Duke team with, I think, the 2nd overall player drafted in Paolo Banchero, which people aren't sliding Arkansas for losing that game at all. So he's been a part of some incredible wins. Gonzaga last year, Kansas this year. And this is a guy, a lot of times when a guy scores 20-plus points, they are lackadaisical on defense. But, I mean, Chuck, you watched it courtside. I mean, you saw the intensity level he was playing defense against guys, not just in this game, but guys all season that are much taller, bigger. He just a lot of times wants it more than they do. He's very crafty on the defensive side of the basketball.
Well, Devo's a great player. Devo's a winner, and he does what he needs to do to help his team win. Sometimes that's score 25. Sometimes it's to keep their 20-point guy at 6. Sometimes it's both. But he's a special guy, and you've got to have something inside you that most people don't to do what he did on Saturday. It's not just about being a good player. It's not just about being good enough to do it. There are lots of guys that play the game every single time you take the floor that are good enough to do what he did. But you got to have something special inside you right there because you're not just trying to play well yourself. I mean, you're trying to will your whole group. And, not everybody can do that. And for him to be able to do that, I mean, he became a legend. We're going to talk about Devo as long as we talk about Razorback basketball. And, you think about a kid from Jacksonville, what that must mean to him and his family. And, Devo's will wear a heart, he wears his heart on his sleeve. And he's an emotional guy. And, Pinto brought up the deal after Maui. That was a lot of that was emotion. And, it's channeled in the right way right now. And he's playing great. And I couldn't be happier for him because he loves being a Razorback. And he knows what it means to the people of this state. And I've said it a million times. These kids want to please you a lot more than you realize. And it hurts them a lot more than you realize when they don't. And, we saw that postgame from Devo. We saw how much it means. And it means that much to all these guys, I promise you. And, they had a great moment Saturday. But here's the deal. UConn had a great game last night. And they feel just as confident about their chances as we feel about ours. Everybody that's in the Sweet 16 right now thinks they're going to the Final Four. Every single one of them. So you gotta line up and do it again.
I want to come back to that coming up in just a sec. Chuck Barrett, Ty Richardson here on the Morning Rush. It is a Hot Take Monday. Tommy on vacation this week with the kiddos, so it'll be me and Chuck for the majority of the week. So we're going to be live in Vegas. Cannot wait for that. Hey, are you looking for a fun weekend this upcoming spring and summer, but you're worried about the bugs, mosquitoes outside, and you're having to deal with those all day? Well, how about we take care of that for you at Mosquito Joe. Call 479-202-9960. That's 479-202-9960 to get those pests out of the way. Stress-free, bug-free. That's what I want this spring and summer. Stress-free and bug-free, quality time outside. Call now and receive your first service for just $39.99. That's $39.99. Again, 479-202-9960 for Mosquito Joe. Now, Chuck, you mentioned this with Houston and Alabama kind of being the cream of the crop as you talking about. What are some other teams as we get into Thursday and Friday, some other matchups outside of Arkansas and UConn you're pretty intrigued by and you want to see how they play out?
Well, I got to be honest with you. I didn't really focus on anything last night except how UConn and St. Mary's were doing, and then I tried to stay awake for Gonzaga and UCLA or TCU and just couldn't pull it off. I think the West Regional is going to be great for starters. I've thought all year long that UCLA was good. They have a little chip on their shoulder because I think they felt like they should have been one of the top 4. But, that'll be if first off, Arkansas, UConn. I mean, Arkansas is an 8 seed, UConn's a 4 seed. That's a really good Sweet 16 matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Gonzaga and UCLA will be a great game, and whoever survives will play a great game. Those are I got to be honest, those are the ones I'm focused on the most.
And the good thing about it is for the game, if you do plan on going, you get a chance to watch not just Arkansas, UConn, but if the Hogs win and you're still happy, you could stay and watch that UCLA and Gonzaga game. So that's kind of the nice part about that if you do make the trek. But there's a lot of good games on Thursday and Friday. Cannot wait to see how some of these Sweet 16 matchups play out. But taking away what Arkansas did in the Kansas game, we mentioned that Houston scored 50 points in the second half. Chuck, how about Arkansas scoring 45 in the second half against a really good defensive Kansas team that hasn't a lot of times given up that amount of points all season?
Yeah, Arkansas played well. I mean, you look at, from a percentage standpoint, Arkansas shooting percentage in the second half was 47%, which is, right about where they, have shot in conference play for the most part this year. They out-rebounded them in the second half. They did a lot of things. Again, the toughness stats, the gritty work. They clamped down on defense. And at the same time, second chance points fed some of their offense. And so I just thought in the second half they were the better team, the tougher team. And, that's a great team they beat. And to win a game like that, Kansas is as storied as there is, and we don't play them very often. Wish we played them more, but to win a game like that, Muss has had a lot of great wins here so far. I'm not so sure that's not the best.
You've gotten a lot of attacking mode in the second half. Ricky and Devo really attacked the Kansas bigs, and KJ Adams and Udo were in foul trouble the majority of that game. I'm sure that they didn't anticipate their third and fourth string big having to play as much as they did against Arkansas, but that's really a byproduct of the Razorbacks as much as they didn't do that in the first half, really attacked the Kansas guys in the second half. And you mentioned UConn. Is it Sadeko, the big man for UConn, but they're going to –
he's good.
Yeah.
They've got a couple of good guards. Newton and Hawkins are good guards. They shoot the three well. I was impressed last night watching them. They're a good team, and the big guy's dominant. So they're going to be a tough. That's going to be a tough ball game. We were talking earlier. They went through a slump. I mean, a flat out slump in January. They were sub 500 in the month of January. Mike Anderson's team beat them at UConn. So, they went through a stretch there where they really struggled to win games, but they've righted the ship, and that's a good team. That's a good team, and Arkansas's got their hands full. It was kind of, at the start of the game, I'm sitting there thinking, we'll beat either one of those guys. By the second half, it's like, whoa, UConn's the real deal, and you better be ready to go. And I thought it was pretty sobering to watch them pull away. Because, you better be ready to roll Thursday.
It's going to be a tough matchup, tough battle. Again, Arkansas is a 3.5-point underdog on the Bet Saracen app. So if you want to get some action on the Hogs, you'll be able to do that. Hey, this morning we are brought to you by The Fence Man. Sean and his team can help you out with large commercial jobs or small residential repairs or small residential fences as well. Whether you're looking for a wood privacy fence, a vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, or custom wrought iron fencing, they can help you out at The Fence Man. Give Sean and his team a call. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. If it involves fencing, Sean and his team can do it at The Fence Man. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936. I want to get into what Muss said pregame before what he was talking about, just the opportunity coming up because they have another chance again to make another Elite Eight, their third consecutive. How he'll be approaching this week in this game as Arkansas finds himself once again, a place not too far. I know Reno's not really close to Vegas, but in the same state where he used to coach, so he's kind of going back, Codicea, whatever, coming back to Nevada. We'll see if Arkansas has an advantage as they head back to Vegas again this week. More coming up. SEC update also to get to as well. We'll come back and talk about some of the SEC teams in action. It is a hot take edition of the Morning Rush right here on ESPN Arkansas.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guts.
The Dell Technologies semi-annual sale starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on select essential accessories, plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
When you bundle your renters and auto insurance with Progressive, you could save money, but it doesn't cover any terrible memories living rent-free in your head.
Remember when one of your best players got injured, but not like on a play or anything? He got injured celebrating a play, and it's not like it was a game-winning play or in the playoffs. And he was out the rest of the season because he was injured while celebrating? Yeah.
Sorry, we can't save you from that memory, but we could save you money bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Renters insurance and bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Are you working way too hard for way too little? There's never been a better time to consider a career in IT. You could enjoy a recession-resistant career in a rewarding field with plenty of growth opportunities and often flexible work environments. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new career in months, not years. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to qualified students, including the GI Bill. Now is the time. mycomputercareer.edu.
Honey, I found a great new house for us to buy. Look at the photos.
Yeah? Who's gonna clean that big house?
We'll hire a housekeeper.
And who's gonna mow all that grass?
I will, on the weekends.
And who will get the kids to school?
We'll start a neighborhood carpool.
You thought of everything, didn't you?
Yep.
Except, who's gonna sell this house we're living in now?
Nick and Ellie Glidewell. nickandellie.com. Equal housing opportunity, Sagely and Edwards Realtors.
Hi, this is Ricky Smith, head basketball coach for the Northside Lady Bears. I dial 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
This is Northside head basketball coach Eric Burnett. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Take advantage of York Factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products.
782-8940.
Make today more interesting with Betly's online sports betting action. You can bet on pro and college games with Betly, the only online sports book in Arkansas and Tennessee. And right now, every new customer can cash in on a $250 risk-free first bet. Download the Betly Sportsbook app now in the Apple and Google Play Store or visit Betly.com. With Betly, every game matters. Must be 21 or older and located in Arkansas or Tennessee to bet. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
All you can eat steak and butterfly shrimp at Golden Corral. Irresistibly delicious butterfly shrimp. They're ginormous. Also enjoy juicy, hand-cut, flame-grilled, cooked-to-order steak. Complete your meal with endless home-style sides and over a dozen desserts. Shrimp and steak and sides and desserts, all for one low price? Now you're talking. Get your surf and turf on with all-you-can-eat steak and butterfly shrimp at Golden Corral. The only one for everyone. For a limited time at dinner, weekdays after 4 p.m. Weekend hours, items, and participation may vary.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
With kids, school, work, and home, my life is very complicated. I have no time to waste. That's why Jody's is my place for my car. They have pickup and delivery, and free shuttle service. I don't have time for waiting rooms. They do everything, even the technical stuff, and coupons to save me money. Jody's. That's all.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we can do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote. Get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbor since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
People come and people go. Simple facts of running a business. But when the folks that have keys go, it creates a new issue of protecting your property. Instead of having the expense of changing locks, consider using access control so you only have to terminate a card. Guardtronic, the River Valley's leader in security, can install an access control system that allows you to know who and what time someone comes into your business. And with only a few clicks on a keyboard, that access is denied instantly. Contact Guardtronic at 800-542-7866 or connect through guardtronic.com. License E050.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Y'all ready for this?
You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
One more for the Big 12 Player of the Year. He banked it in. He didn't mean to. He banked it in. Arkansas throws it into Kamani, back to Black. Vegas, baby! Vegas, baby! Hogs are going to the Sweet 16! Hogs are going to the Sweet 16! Vegas, baby! The Razorbacks, for the 3rd straight year, are headed to the Sweet 16, 72-71, the final over Kansas.
Muss was talking about opportunity before the game. Want to come back to that coming up, as it is a Hot Take Monday. This morning, Chuck Barrett, Ty Richardson. We are brought to you by World of Wireless, your local dish dealer. And call Ben and his team at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474. They're also helping out with your vacuum repair as well. So you have an old vacuum and your shop vac stuff, anything like that, they can help repair that as well. So whether you're looking for whole home DVR service, free local installation, and a local company that you can count on, plus high def in every room, and ask how you can bundle their high-speed internet as well. When you call WOW now, that's 877-305-3474 for WOW World of Wireless. Here's Muss before the game.
All right, so I'll leave you guys again with this. I said it in the morning. I'll say it again. What an unbelievable opportunity. We're playing the defending champions. They won the national championship last year, all right? They're the number 1 seed.
They took that in stride, Chuck. They played like, even again, being down 12 at one point in the second half, a lot of teams would have just given up and fallen by the wayside. This team took that opportunity and ran with it.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you don't get a chance to do this every day. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for these guys, and Thursday's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Every moment they spend together now. I mean, none of this stuff's guaranteed. You have to go earn it. So, they earned it in the second half, and they forced turnovers in the second half. They frustrated Kansas. I mean, they really did. They did the same thing in the second half to Kansas that they did to Illinois. And when you get another team frustrated the way they were, they'll turn it over. And Arkansas did that. And, again, you've got a great, you got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity Thursday. Lots of kids that play basketball in their driveway dream of this. Every one of them does. And, less than 0.5% get to go do it. So, and they're embracing that. It's obvious. They're embracing it. They're following their coach's lead. They're following Devo's lead and Kamani Johnson's lead. And, here we are.
Here we are on the brink of another potential Elite Eight appearance. It is not going to be easy. Again, 6:15 Central Time on CBS is where you can watch the game. It's always ESPN Arkansas, not hitthatline.com. Can't stream the game, but Chuck and Z will be courtside this Thursday. Cannot wait to get to that game. Chuck, I like how you were talking about earlier. The coaches, the players, they're liking the prep time that they're getting. Fans just want 6:15 on Thursday to get here already, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody's going to be counting the minutes. Can't wait for Thursday night. This is what everybody's talking about and will be talking about all week long. And so, hey, when the Razorbacks are doing well, it elevates our entire state. I mean, it just elevates everything. Everything this morning's better. Wherever you've been this morning, if you've been out and about, this is what people are talking about. And, when it's like this, this is when everybody comes together, and it makes it fun. And those who are able to go will go, and the 99% who don't go will be gathered around the television and, maybe like the old days, gather around the radio. It's just going to be – it's going to be a fun night, and this is one of those times that we'll remember. And Saturday was one of those games that we'll remember a long time.
I got a text from a buddy in Northwest Arkansas. He's taking his girlfriend, and he said if they win both games this weekend, they're just going to elope there and get married.
I was going to say, you take a girlfriend to this, you win a couple of times, you may come back home married.
Oh, man. He said, don't be surprised, guys, if I wind up married after this weekend if Arkansas is able to win them both. But you got to win the first one. Again, this UConn team is really, really talented. Hurley and Musselman. I'll tell you what, I can't wait for that, Chuck. We know Musselman is very intense, very animated on the sidelines. Hurley's the same way. It is going to be a sideshow this Thursday night.
Yeah, if I was a neutral observer at the arena, I think I'd probably watch those guys as much as I'd watch the game. That'll be entertainment. There's some coaches out there. I used to love to watch John Brady on the sidelines when he was at LSU. I just thought he was a hoot. And a lot of these guys are like that, and Hurley's like that, and Muss puts on a pretty good show too. So, yeah, that'd be they need to have ISO, and I'm sure they will. They need to have ISO cameras on those guys all the time.
Speaking of shows, the show is going on the road once again this week. Cannot wait to be in Vegas. All of our NCAA tournament coverage, again, on the Morning Rush, on Halftime, and Ruskin and Zach. Find us on hitthatline.com, YouTube as well. All the videos, social media, we're going to have all that. Just like last week, Mossback Fish Habitat is sponsoring our Sweet 16 and potential Elite 8 coverage this week. David Keene and his team can help you out with all your fishing needs. Listen to this. When it comes to trying to improve your pond, your lake, your dock, just helping improve your fishery, David Keene and his team can help you do that. Go to mossbackfishhabitat.com for all your fish habitat products. And Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price. At Mock Legal Solutions, we offer a flat fee, no hourly billing, low down payments to get your case started, and payment plans to fit your budget. Visit mocklegalsolutions.com to schedule your free consultation. Again, your number one source for all things Arkansas basketball is ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Still a lot to get to here on the Morning Rush. I know that Tommy is in Cozy Mill right now having some fun. Wouldn't be surprised if he's deep sea fishing at some point. Now, while you don't use these out on the deep sea, you do use them in a lot of other places, and that is the Umbrella Flash Mob Junior from Pradco. Cold water bass fishing, if you need a Umbrella Flash Mob Junior, it's the best for duplicating a small school of jag and can be worked from the top of the water to the bottom of the water column. So when you're in a bass tournament, you're trying to win, this is what you need. You can find them at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, Learnet.com, and all over the place.
ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com's exclusive coverage of the NCAA tournament is brought to you by Mossback Fish Habitat. Made in Arkansas, the leading menu.
At Mock Legal Solutions, we offer a flat fee.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got trophies!
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Remember this top 10 hit from 1983? Boy George, I Think You've Got It. It's Church of the Poison Mind by Culture Club. The culture is continuing to poison the minds of our youth by clubbing them with everything but the truth. But when we heed God's word, He gives us the solution to all the gender confusion. The true poison is believing that evil is good and good is evil. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from the NFL and bowl season to esports. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. We're the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite leagues and events. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. That's BLEAV. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide top quality pressure washing and exterior cleaning services for your property.
What all do you service?
Fence washing, gutter, or deep concrete cleaning for your home, commercial business, and more.
Do you have insurance?
Absolutely. We're covered with liability insurance, and we also use safe and effective wash methods, leaving your home or business looking brand new.
I guess I need to go to your website, mjmobilewash.com.
Or just give me a call at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
One call cleans it all.
When you stay overnight, you want the accommodations to feel comfortable and feel like home. Well, at Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels, you get exactly that. You can check out all their locations at bphotels.com. They have locations in Fayetteville, Bentonville, Little Rock, Jonesboro, Conway, El Dorado, Arkadelphia, North Little Rock, Bryant, Hot Springs, Ardmore, Oklahoma, and coming soon to Kansas City. bphotels.com. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels, looking forward to serving you in 2023.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yeah.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line podcast network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Tennessee to bet. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Coke Zero Sugar tastes so good, people will take a taste any way they can. You never know when your best friend will lunge across a table and grab for it. A stranger could subtly swipe it, or your little brother might just ask for one too many sips. So no matter what you're doing, or who you're with, when you're enjoying a Coke Zero Sugar, be ready to protect it from takers at all times. Because one sip begs the question, is this the best Coke ever? Take a taste and see.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. Over the years, we've helped thousands of customers drive better. It's simple, really. Rath Road Ready used cars, live market value pricing, and award-winning Meineke Car Care Center service after the sale. It's what's made us Arkansas's favorite used car dealer. This month, you can start driving better too with up to $3,400 extra for your trade and savings up to $4,100 below retail. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center, now offering our exclusive Meineke Mile service contracts and prepaid maintenance plans that can add life and value to your car while saving you up to 20%. By the way, visit us on Facebook or at rathauto.com to register for our monthly contest. You can win a set of tires plus a Meineke Mile prepaid maintenance plan, $1,000 value. It's free and it's fun, but absolutely ends March 31st. Start driving better today with Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, or online at rathauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
All right, last segment here on your SEC update. Talk about some of the games from over the weekend in this conference. Missouri, probably the most disappointing team over the weekend as they fall to Princeton by 15. Kentucky lost as well to Kansas State, which Kansas State had a great game. Great game in that one. Tennessee beat Duke off the floor, pummeled the Blue Devils. Much more physical, much stronger, wanted it a lot more. And Rick Barnes' squad moving on. 5 seniors on that team. I know Tennessee without Sakai Ziegler, a lot of people, including myself, were counting them out, but they proved me wrong. Had a great game against the Duke Blue Devils. Houston was down to Auburn by 10 at the break in Birmingham, Alabama. Essentially a home game for the Auburn Tigers. Yet the Tigers couldn't close it out. Sasser and company scored 50 on Bruce Pearl and beat him by 17. Outscored him by 27 in the second half. Houston gets that one done. Alabama beats the tar out of Maryland. That wasn't much of a game. And, of course, your Arkansas Razorbacks got it done against the Kansas Jayhawks in one of the more thrilling games you've ever seen. 72-71. A great win for Eric Musselman and his basketball program. That is going to do it for your SEC update. It's brought to you by Sassy's this morning. Alan Drummond and his team can take care of you at Sassy's. Hog basketball, hog baseball. If you're in the Northwest Arkansas area and you want to watch it at a great place, great food, great drinks, Sassy's on College and Sassy's Barbecue and Grill on off Weddington is the place to go. You're going to have your favorite meal. I'm a big fan of the chicken fried steak and the honey sriracha wings. Anything you get at Sassy's, though, those tater tots with the caramel/syrupy sauce, it's awesome. Tommy, I know, likes the tacos. Whatever game you're watching, or if it's just NCAA tournament action, do it at Sassy's. Again, Sassy's Red House, the original, on College, and then Sassy's Barbecue and Grill off Weddington on Steamboat. Check them out at sassysredhouse.com. Nobody does it better than Sassy's. Eat, drink, and be sassy. As we close out here, calls and texts are welcome. Again, I know there's been a lot of reaction here on a Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV on this win, on moving on to Vegas of all places. And you heard Chuck's call again at the Open and just the excitement level of this basketball team. Chuck wasn't the only one excited. Every single one of you were excited about how that game concluded. And just to be frank, just to be honest, I don't know how many of you expected them to pull it out in the second half based on the way they played in the first half. But these young men, a lot of which are still young, by the way, 18 to 19 years old, Jordan Walsh, Anthony Black, Nick Smith, throw him in there as well. Even Joseph Pinion and Darian Ford got it at the tail end of the game. That's a core group right there. There's a lot of Arkansas names that are mentioned, and probably the most prominent of those is Devonte Davis, a junior from Jacksonville, Arkansas, who really has made his name in March. Regular season, not that it is a throwaway at some point because you need regular season wins to get to the NCAA tournament, but Devontae's best games have been in March, and he continues to shine in the most pressure-packed games of his life. Not to say that winning the state championship at Jacksonville or doing what he did on the AAU circuit with Jalen for the Arkansas, I guess that would have been Wings Elite. I think those were the teams that he played on. But for Arkansas, what he does consistently in this tournament year after year is remarkable. There's a really cool video after the game of Nick Walters, again, got this, of Devo and Muss embracing, crying, hugging. Really cool. And then you have Muss talking with Devo after the game as well on CBS. Was it, Christian, was it on Turner or was it on TNT? What was the game on TBS? I couldn't remember what the game was. Either way, it was with Allie LaForce and Muss talking about he's like my son. And I think a lot of people look at Devonte Devo Davis as every bit of an Arkansan based on the way he plays the game with such raw emotion, such intensity. And once again, he was a pivotal reason why you won this past Saturday. Now you got to go do it on Thursday, right? UConn, just as hot as you are. They look good against St. Mary's in the second half, as Chuck just referred to. You've got to bring that same level of energy this past week. By the way, it was on CBS, as will be the game on Thursday. Mentioned the start time several times. I'm going to do it again. 6:15 Central Time on CBS. get things going probably at 5:30 on ESPN Arkansas with your courtside show. And then on at 6:15 on Thursday, again, Arkansas, and we'll take on UConn. And then you'll have in Vegas, if you're planning on traveling out there, if you're trying to book flights or whatever, 4:15 Vegas time, 2 hours before, just like San Francisco this past year for the ones that made the trip. And I know a lot of you are contemplating right now, do I swing this? Do I hold out for Saturday? Heck, do I hold out for Houston? I'm not one to tell you to do what you're with your money. What I will say is this. The friends that I went with this past weekend, who a lot of you make more money than them because they're 20-something years old, they said it was worth every penny, every price of admission, every fee, every hotel cost, everything that they paid for was worth the price of admission. So do that information what you will. I know tickets, they're going to just absolutely kill you on tickets. I hate it. I wish it wasn't that way, but the secondary market can be tough. That's the best way to go on this. I hope you can get a good seat if you end up going. But either way, you'll have a good seat listening here on ESPN Arkansas as well as watching it on CBS. I know a lot of you have made mistakes on your bracket on hitthatline.com. The good thing is we've got a little redemption for you. So on hitthatline.com, we have a Sweet 16 bracket. So if you want to redo it or now you want to pick the Sweet 16, you can do that. You can absolutely change your bracket and win another prize. I'm forgetting what the Sweet 16 prizes are, but they're pretty good. We're giving away prizes all month long with your bracket on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Christian right now is actually leading our ESPN Arkansas crew, so props to him. Orange is right behind him. I think me, Tommy, and Maddie are tied for third, and then other guys are in other places, other gals are in other places. We'll have to wait and see kind of how that takes shape. But the 2023 Bracket Fever Challenge on hitthatline.com would not be possible without Buffalo Wild Wings, 810 Billiards and Bowling, Wheels RV in Springdale, and also Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley right here in Fort Smith. Again, the best Sweet 16 and best Final Four, so you have a chance to win for each round of the NCAA tournament. Go to hitthatline.com to check it out. It's also brought to you by Swift's Jewelry in Fayetteville, River Valley Truck Outfitters in Fort Smith, Broadway Motors in Van Buren, and Foghorns Wings, Burgers, and more at Foghorns. Hitthatline.com is where you need to go to. Oh, man. It has been a whirlwind of a show this morning. Hog Reaction was nuts. Took a bunch of calls, took a bunch of texts. Zach and I did that this past Saturday. I know it will be me and someone else live from Vegas this Thursday as we'll react to either an Arkansas win or an Arkansas loss. I know that we've got media sessions that we'll be getting to later with the players and coaches this week. We'll talk with Muss. We'll talk with Dan Hurley and some of the UConn players, just kind of their thoughts. Had a chance to talk with Joseph Yesufu and Kevin McCullough, the two Kansas players before. You're not necessarily going to have, I think, a wide coaching advantage. You're still having an advantage. I think a lot of people would still take Muss over Dan Hurley, but I do wonder what role not having Bill Self on the sidelines did for the psyche of the Kansas Jayhawks. And I thought Eric Musselman outcoached Coach Roberts in the second half of that basketball game, and they just wanted it more. Kansas, it is so difficult when you win a national championship to do every little thing you did correctly the week before, the luck to fall your way, various things. We said it before, there weren't many teams that were 1 seeds that wanted Arkansas to be matched up as their 8 seed. And we know that Purdue didn't even make it out of the first round. They lost to Fairleigh Dickinson, only the second time in NCAA history that a 16 seed has beaten a number 1 overall seed. That was an awesome game to watch. Houston battled with Auburn. We know Bama got the better of the Maryland Terrapins. And then the other 1 seed, why am I racking my brain? Houston, Bama, Purdue lost. Who am I missing? Christian, who am I missing 1 seed wise? Why can I not think of the other 1 seed? I'll figure it out in a sec. I just got to look at the bracket. But they that's the setup right now. Kansas, who you beat. I apologize. My brain is not fully functional. It's had that drive back from Des Moines yesterday. But that's the setup. 2 1 seeds are out. Only 2 remain. One of them was tested with Houston being this past Saturday. But again, they responded and rallied against Auburn. If you get in a rut like you did this past week, you've got to rally and respond like you did in the second half of that game. I think that's why people were so surprised at the outcome and the upset is because of how Arkansas not only came back but rallied in the second half, just refused to give in that basketball game, Christian.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, beating a 1 seed, what that has to do for your confidence. I mean, obviously the games don't get any easier, but, man, you've got to feel like if you're Arkansas that you can beat just about anybody left in this tournament. So, just take it game by game and enjoy the moment. You don't get to play in many Sweet 16 games in your career unless you're Devonte Davis. So for all the new guys that are experiencing this, it's going to be a lot of fun for the fans coming up, and let's see how far they go.
Yep. 6:15 again is the central starting time for this game on Thursday. Arkansas playing with some confidence. Going to need it on Thursday night. Do want to mention this as well. This is from Jody and Harrison. Women's basketball back in action tonight at 7 o'clock here on the SEC Network. Plus, I want to make sure I get that right because the softball team's playing Bama in the rubber match on the SEC Network tonight at 6. Basketball team, women's basketball team in the WNIT tonight at 7 at Bud Walton Arena. They are hosting Stephen F. Austin, so just wanted to remind everyone of that. Auburn got smacked this weekend in Fayetteville. They lose 3 straight. Arkansas baseball has won 13 straight. Last home game of the homestand tomorrow. I don't know if Tommy gave us tickets to give away or not, but maybe I'll hear from them. We'll do that coming up. This has been a really fun show. Really appreciate all the interactions, all the text, all the calls, all the tweets, all the mentions on YouTube and Facebook as well. We will be going all week long. Chuck's going to be back with us on Wednesday. Christian and I tomorrow. Tom Murphy, Bruce Stanton. I know he's going to be really happy after his Vols got it done against Duke. And again, your calls and texts are welcome, not only on the Morning Rush, but on halftime and on Ruskin and Zach. I think the only thing left to get to is which one, Derek or Zach, who wants to do the post-game show with me on Thursday. Going to have to wait and see. I don't know if they're going to draw straws or they're going to beat each other out for who gets a chance to do that. But it has been a fun week. That was one of the coolest sports moments that I've ever gotten to live through in my entire life, getting to see Arkansas beat the Kansas Jayhawks, back-to-back wins against the number 1 seed in your region. That's going to do it for today's show. For Christian Johnston and Chuck Barrett, I am Ty Richardson. Have a fantastic Monday. Lot to discuss. Great Razorback weekend full of wins. We'll talk to you tomorrow on a Tuesday at 6 a.m.
Semaglutide is a weight loss game changer. That's what the medical community is saying about the latest FDA-approved weight loss medication.